we actually discussed this before. We thought it might be a good idea that each of us talks about how we got into making videos and the style of gameplay we usually enjoy within the game. So if I'll let Obsidian Ed take over, and he can tell us how he got into it.
Yeah, no worries. Well, there's two things there, isn't there? Really, Elite and then YouTube as well. And the thing is, really, I'm not that much of a confident person, to be honest, and certainly not very good at talking in these sort of situations. You know, I'm the type of guy that sits in the corner of a party and just socializes with the kind of people I know, and that's pretty much it. So for me, it's really bizarre to have seen hundreds and sometimes thousands of people listening to my videos and watching my videos, and it's really amazing as well. But especially that over the time, I'm the type of person who sometimes struggles with talking with people and so on and things like that. And for that, YouTube's been a massive boon to me. It's really helped out, really improved my confidence and a lot of things like that. So it's a massive difference. And Elite has been a great game for doing that on YouTube. I've played Elite back in the day when it was out, when I was very, very young, and I had Elite 2 on the Amiga and played a hell of a lot of time on that. I was a teenager back then. And so when I saw it come out on Kickstarter back in 2012, I was immediately right in there with it.
Cool. Yeah, that's
pretty much a day one backer and followed a lot of the game all the way through, really. But only back to a low level right early on, back to, I think, the $25 or £25 or whatever. It was £25, wouldn't it be? Because that was a UK Kickstarter. And then as it sort of went on, we got the opportunity to upgrade, and I jumped in at Premium Beta. I really don't regret doing that. Really good.
No,
I did a similar thing myself.
What's your favourite play style, though, Obsidian Ed? I would assume it's exploring, but do you have any other play styles that you enjoy within Elite Dangerous?
Yeah, I'm really, really into exploration. Funnily enough, I'm not that into the game mechanic side of exploration, and by that I mean flying around and scanning the planets. I don't particularly enjoy that side of it overly much.
You just enjoy the view.
Yeah, I like going around and finding things. I mean, every holiday I go on, there's a trip into nature. I'll find somewhere that's mountainous or forest or something like that. That's the type of place I love going. And so pretty much I'll bring that into Elite. I love flying around and finding all the different things there are to find out there. But also like the combat as well. And I think the flight mechanic for the game really does make it.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he is, I could just tell everyone that from the way he speaks about exploring, he is a true explorer, like in his heart of hearts. Like, it's not just the game, everything he does he does it from an explorer point of view.
Yeah, I reckon if I didn't have any ties, I'd go out into the world and just roam the world for years at a time, from place to place.
No, at the moment I'm on the complete opposite end of that at the minute. I'm just trying to get my elite rank, my exploration rank to elite. I've only got 13 million left to go.
Are you getting there?
How did you get in Chaos? How did you get into making YouTube videos for Elite?
Well, I started off making YouTube videos for World of Tanks, and that went absolutely horribly tankily bad, you can imagine. And especially since, similar to Obsidian Ant, I wasn't very confident with myself and my own voice and so on when I started off doing YouTube. I mean, if you ever look up the first video I ever did a voiceover on, it's like KV2 Ace Tanker video. I sounded absolutely horrendous. But with practice and with confidence, it's come and changed better. I've gotten a lot more confident, a lot more used to dealing with things on the fly. And then when it came to Elite Dangerous itself, I was watching one of the guys I like watching on YouTube, the guy that actually got me into YouTube himself, the Mighty Jingles. He mentioned Elite Dangerous on one of his videos. And I think, oh, that reminds me of a game I used to play when I was a kid. Funnily enough, it was Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga 1200. But I didn't know that it was the same series at the time. And spoiler alert, I sucked horribly at that game. I could take a couple of missions, but I couldn't land again. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It didn't help that we didn't have an instruction manual to the game.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
This is awesome. Yeah, Vindicator's done that a bit, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the gains up a bit.
But
Yeah,
then I
bear
guess
with
you
us,
stuck
guys.
with their chaos and
Yes, no, I didn't stick with Frontier, my favourite game, Frontier Elite 2. My favourite game on that was Simon the Sorcerer, but then we came and
I
found...
remember that.
Yeah, I remember, that was awesome. But then, I'm getting off topic again, nothing unusual for me. But then I heard about Elite Dangerous, I thought, oh, that sounds cool, I'll go and have a look at that. I basically managed to buy the game into premium beta just on the last day it was available, because that's the day I got paid. So thank my boss for getting me paid on time, otherwise I wouldn't be here today. So yeah, I'm really happy about this, and like I said before, Elite Dangerous is real, and YouTube has really helped me get my confidence up. And I'm really happy because both me and Obsidian Ant got invited to EGX last year by Elite.
Awesome.
So that was epic, and we met there for the first time in real life. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great day. A great few days.
Ah, it was. And I remember when we tried out the CQC for the first time, and I kicked everyone's ass. Then we tried it on the Xbox, and I sucked horribly.
So what is your favourite game mode? Do you have a favourite game mode within Elite Dangerous, or?
I like to do a bit of everything. Like I said, currently I'm just doing exploration, and as Glacial Fire just pointed out, I've just done a ultimate tutorial for it. But I really do like exploring, and I got the love for exploring from Obsidian Ant himself. And his passion for exploring kind of rubbed off on me, but I do love my combat. I tolerate trading. I'd like doing piracy every so often, but it really kind of depends what I like to do, really. I like to mix it up and do different things. As soon as I get to Exploration Elite, I plan to start working and doing some trading so I can build up enough capital to start another couple of series on my channel. I'm planning to start doing a series with ship builds, kind of similar to what Cornelius was doing, but not quite just themed builds and so on. I want to try and start doing, because I've got my first impression series where I do stock and then A-rated, and the A-rated is always with fixed weapons. But I'm planning to do another series where I'm trying to make the ships as efficient as possible.
Good luck
the
with
best way of running
engineers.
Yes, yes, that's going to be fun.
Cornelius is really wanting to rip into engineers, we can tell.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. Yes, we
Might not
have
be
a
great
bit of a
if you
pre-meet
have
about
OCD
this.
at all.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
what about if we move on to Cornelius? So how did you get into doing YouTube videos, mate?
I actually started out because I wanted to improve my English. It was pretty bad in the beginning, I hope.
You're doing fairly well, I'll be honest.
Well, I'm glad. I think I'm only one
Alright.
not English native speaking here, yeah?
So I've got a promise to make. You have to do it for me. Say the nuclear vessels for me. Just once.
Nuclear vessels for you, just once.
Thanks, man. That's all I wanted.
But I had it in my
Oh,
video,
God,
so
sorry.
yeah, okay. So I started because I wanted to improve my English, and it turned out that my videos actually were liked by people. And I also tried always to make videos which I would like to watch myself, so to give as much information as possible. And that started like that.
Well,
Yeah, I had a
I think
similar
it's
thing
definitely
myself.
succeeded.
Because when Elite first came out, there was nothing on YouTube about it, so I think that's why a lot of it started. Sorry, I'm gonna
I
stop.
actually made Pilot's Guide, if you remember. The crazy guy, it's me. In
I
2014.
don't remember, but then again, I forget what I ate for breakfast yesterday.
It was a huge PDF file. Crazy.
Hey, you know
bet.
what? I actually think I remember that too.
Actually,
I
I
probably
remember
have,
that as
but I just don't remember.
So what is your favorite gameplay style?
I must say that everything except exploration. I can enjoy to some degree everything. Fighting, mining, trading, smuggling, just winging up with friends and having fun. But exploration is not really for me. At least not in current condition.
That's fair enough too.
It is. I will admit that it is one of the least developed parts of the game.
Okay, well, why don't we move on to Dr. Kaii? So tell us, mate, how did you get into doing? Well, you do YouTube videos, I'm assuming.
Yes, I do for quite a while now.
I haven't seen any. Sorry,
yes.
mate.
Yeah, so
he's got some good ones. He's got some good ones
he's
there.
got some good videos. So if you
Yeah,
guys
I
haven't
paid
seen
you
his channel, go and check him out. Yeah, the check just cleared.
Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, good. There'll be a little bonus in there for you as well.
Oh, good.
So, firstly, hi, 213 people. I am not nervous at all. It's good to speak to you. Why did I get
now.
into? Ooh. Yeah, that's because I started talking. So I mean, for a long time I'd wanted to be a YouTuber, but I just didn't have any opportunities. And then I got Elite, and I had the reason I got Elite was for the Oculus Rift and for the fact that it had the entire galaxy. Hi guys. And then I've worked out you can actually record the Oculus Rift, so I thought I might as well just start making some videos. And they were just a bit rubbish at first, just some guide videos. But then I started getting quite inspired by quite a few YouTubers, including everyone here, especially Obsidian Ant, because he was an explorer and also he kind of taught me how to play the game with some of his guide videos. But I tell you who my biggest inspiration was actually Isinona, because I found that I was absolutely hooked to his videos. They're just so much fun. I thought someone needs to do that for exploration. So my first proper series was the Deep Space Surveys. I don't know if anyone's actually seen them. They made the newsletter once and I got quite a few thousand views. But
Cool.
yeah, so I started making Isinona style videos, but about like following an explorer rather than a jack of all trades like Isinona is. And they did really well, and I'm very proud of that body of work. And I'm actually now, while I've got the floor, I'm just going to say I'm about to release another series using Space Engine, and it's going to be a properly professional, amazing documentary about space. So my YouTube career is hopefully growing, and I think
Shameless
that's gonna
self-plug
reach a
over.
wider audience. Yeah. And I'll return the favor. Everyone here I've seen, and in case you haven't for some reason not seen these guys, you should go to their YouTube channels because they are amazing. Like they are famous for a reason, not just by pure luck. They're really, it's really fun to watch the videos.
I'm hoping to get famous off the back of these guys, so you know.
Vindicator Jones is pretty good as well.
Yeah, Vindicator Jones, you've got great quality videos. That's why me and Obsidian Ant have been sharing your content.
Oh,
That's why you've agreed to come and speak to you.
Yeah, that's right.
And so for your second question, what is my favorite play style? I think without question it's exploration. But just like Chaos Wulff, I do like to do a bit of everything as well. I like to mix it up. And it's one of those games that I wish I had more time. If I had more time, I'd get so involved. There's just so much you can do. So much you can get really like into if you had the time. So whatever little time I've had, I've got really into exploring, and to the point I've helped form this massive expedition called Distant Worlds that some of you may have heard of.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Definitely heard something about that.
Oh yeah, good. I'm glad. We were quite loud. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I did follow for about 2 waypoints, and then because I'm so busy, I didn't get a chance to do follow much.
Oh, that's so cool.
It does help having time. I didn't sign up for it because I didn't know about it to begin with. I only found out about it through Obsidian Ant. But I was there at waypoint 2, and then after that I went off to the neutron fields and then spent a month there.
Fair enough.
And I think we've had Troa decide to join us just a little while ago. I haven't heard much of him yet. Are you there, mate? Or
yeah, I'm here. I just been quiet. I'm kind of the lurker.
No, just the way we like you.
You got to tell us how you got into Elite Dangerous. Well, how you got into making YouTube content for Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, sure. I actually YouTube used to be a hobby of mine. I guess it starts that way for everybody. But I was doing that for MechWarrior Online a long time ago. I have some cringeworthy videos of it. And following that, I actually lost my job and became disabled. So my only way of actually doing something productive was YouTube. So I kind of completely dedicated myself to it. And I went, from 400 subscribers to where I'm at now in just over a year. And that's about how long I've been in this state. So that's how I I went from being, just a hobbyist guy who puts out rubbish videos to something a little bit better, I suppose.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, no, some of your videos are really good. Even before I started making them, I watched a few of your videos.
That's awesome to hear, actually.
I think we've all got
everybody here. I'm actually pretty much subscribed to everybody here. Everybody, I've watched at least one of your videos, and every one of them, I'm subscribed to you guys for a reason, because you guys are pretty much the leading edge. So, I mean, if I want to do anything remotely close to what you guys can do, I have to see what you're doing too. I mean, that's just how it works, I guess. But
I think
it does help having the time for it.
Content.
yeah. And now the person that actually got me into Elite was because I didn't hear about the game, and obviously we weren't releasing content immediately. I mean, some of you guys were because of the beta access, but I wasn't privy to that. Unfortunately, I missed the bus, as it were.
Same.
But person who actually got me into it, that I credit for it, was a YouTuber called Daddy Doodoo, of all people. And yeah. And he was in a Type 9, and he was just space trucking with some music, and he was kind of talking to his computer and everything else like that. His little, the AI thing that we do with voice attack. And I just found it was so calming and very immersive of an experience, because up until that point, we hadn't seen anything remotely similar to Elite. I mean, Star Citizen was, just a glimmer in somebody's eye. So it was quite profound to me, because I'm a big nerd. I saw that and went, oh yes, I have to get into Elite.
Yeah, I think most of us had that kind of feeling when we first saw Elite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
It's like the dream game of our childhoods. Suddenly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like you said, you all of a sudden had a lot of time. I was in a very similar situation myself. I ended up being off work for a year because I damaged my knees. So in that time, I went from having 120 subscribers to having over 10,000. So holy crap. And I never expected my channel to go anywhere.
Well, I think we all start off like that. We all think, we'll give it a go and see what happens. And then you just think, and you just see keep them rising. You think, oh god, hang on, I better start taking this a bit more seriously.
I had exactly 120 before I started Elite, so I know exactly the feeling. Haven't quite made 10,000 yet though. I'm going to steal some of yours.
Yeah, that's fine by me. Go ahead. Just recently 17,000, so I'm really happy with that. I've still got a way to go to catch Obsidian Ant back up again, because he's overtaken me again, that bastard.
Well, my Space Engine series is going to get me over 1 million, and I'll give you... Because the way YouTube works is it's not like... Subscribers are not commodities. They are... you can share them. If I help your channel, that also helps my channel, and it also helps Obsidian's channel and everyone's channel. So we all kind of are a team rather than competitors, if you know what I mean.
I know it's a great way of collaboration. Actually, it's really.
And we make
awesome.
very different videos. Don't forget about that.
Yes, we do. We do come from very different points.
That's what I kind of like. Yeah.
You've got people like Cornelius here and Obsidian Ant. They're like polar opposites almost in their videos. Yeah. Then we've got other people that kind of fit in along the scale in between.
So that's where my subscribers went to Obsidian.
Chaos. Skipper just
you should
said,
give me some back.
The reason he subscribed to you is because of your fabulous hair. So
yeah, I was about to point that out actually. Yeah, thank you, Commander RWD.
Skipper.
I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, Skipper. Yeah. There's a bunch of people have been talking about my hair. Yes, thank you.
Anyway, I think Troa was going to tell us about his play style.
Yeah, if he could.
Oh, alright.
Sorry, I went off on one. Sorry, carry on.
No, that was great. Well, I guess play style. I'm a dirty smuggler.
Man after my own heart.
You take your hand solo, don't you?
No, I play in open most of the time. I do solo when I'm recording, or if I just want to wake up and get away from everybody. But no, when I play, I generally do
solo, as in Star Wars.
I mean, hand solo.
Gotcha.
That's my
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So definitely like the smuggling. But what I often find myself doing more than anything else is tinkering with ships and doing combat in ring fields. that's generally what I find myself doing the most. I found that combat seemingly has the most diversity to it that you can get on your own on command, and it's not like piracy, which I believe is the most dynamic thing you can do because people are dynamic. But it's just not gonna come across people that often. I feel like I'm clubbing a seal, because I've got the ships, I've got all the equipment, and I've got all the rebuys I can have, and I just really don't want to do that to somebody because I remember the struggle. So I've been kind of staying out of it. I mean, I really want to get into it. It's just it feels I can't get past that. I'm too much of a Care Bear, I guess you could say.
I remember being on the opposite end of the scale at one point when I first started out. It was on one of my original Let's Play series, where it was called Piracy Among the Solar Wind, on the Solar Winds or something. And I was in a Cobra and I came across another player in a Python, pre-Python nerf. And no matter what I did to it, it just did nothing. And I eventually just had to run away like the little coward that I was.
Somebody's asked a good question. How old are we all, as in each of us? Because, I suppose it probably, we were talking about how we all used to play Elite Dangerous in the old days. For me, I'm 44, so...
I am 30. I never played the old one.
I am 40.
I am 33 this month.
Oh, hang on. We got doubled up then. What was that?
That's right. Cornelius, you go first.
I am 40.
And I am 33 this month.
Oh, kid.
You and me can be friends, Chaos. We're the same age.
Yeah, you're similar.
The thing is, though,
when I was your age...
Yeah. The thing is, people have been saying in the chat, and I get commented on this a lot, that I don't look 33.
That isn't a compliment. That's the question.
You look more like 60.
Well, mine
it depends.
Definitely that of a 60-year-old.
And I'm 28 over here, so I guess I'm the young one.
You're the baby of the group.
Should rename it to Troa Baby.
Troa Baby.
Troa Baby.
Don't do that. I'll switch to piracy.
CDC, CDC was just level 15.
Yeah.
Guess I'm becoming a pirate.
And we've just had Aeon Prime just said Cornelius sounds like he's 25.
Yeah, my voice is not catching up with my age.
Yeah. I thought Cornelius was younger too.
No, I'm old enough to remember First Elite, so I was playing First Elite.
No, I didn't. The First Elite came out when I was 1, so...
I was a little bit older.
Anyway, back to the game. I just wanted to say that what Troa was describing, even though he didn't describe himself as an explorer, he did describe himself as someone who likes to go fighting in rings. And I take it because they're beautiful. Am I right? And it's like a nice setting. It's not just the fact that it's more dangerous because there's rings and there's rocks.
No, it's more appealing to me.
It's a nice setting, especially when you've got the nice smoky kind of, like the dust field within the rings. And not only that, it's also nice to fly around them when you're chasing down, little ships or whatever, and using them as part of tactics to get out of fire.
So, the reason I brought that up is because I was going to say that it kind of sounds like everyone at heart, at least like on the lowest level, or the highest level, as it were, is an explorer. Because even if you are into combat, no one just goes to the same ring. They play the game, they decide one system is my system, and they don't care at all above that. They just care about combat. I think we all, even within the bubble, and especially within the bubble is the best place to explore. We all kind of like the galaxy because it's a galaxy, because there's so much variety. I mean, do you disagree with that, or?
No, but I think before we carry on here, sorry, Mark Castro's also asked what all of our favourite ships are, so we'll get to that after this. But carry on.
Okay, good point. I'll write that one down.
The best rings are on the dark side, so you don't see asteroids, you're just flying blindly. No. These are best rings.
They are quite...
You have to watch.
I wish I could put extra spotlights on my fertilizer in a bloody ring. What's the point of having the lights? You can't even see anything.
No, it's not bad, though, because depends on what you do. You just have to look for the darker black on the black.
Or lighter black on the black.
You don't know.
that as
Should
well.
I aim for the darker black or the less darker black? Which one's the right one?
I don't know. I remember once when I was back before I eventually got like a lot of trade money. I was flying around in a Vulture, and I thought, this is too easy. I'm going to go and upgrade my ship to a Federal dropship, and then I was flying that around rings for ages. I was terrified of it to begin with because I kept crashing into asteroids. But then after about a couple of days of doing this, I was throwing that thing around full speed around asteroids left, right, and center, and I was just having a blast. I remember being told by Commander Blip, he's in chat as well, that the first time we met, all he heard was me coming up from behind just with all four of my multicannons going, die!
Can I just say, try that in canyons. Try that in canyons. Get something very maneuverable and fast and just zip through canyons at high speed with FA off.
Oh, I
You
can't
can bring
wait.
combat down to planets.
Oh, I can't
I'm
wait.
dying to
for
try that
combat
out with
in planets.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, so I'm just dying to try out fast-paced canyon flight with
Yeah.
the Viper post 2.1 because they're supposed to be class 3 thrusters are supposed to be getting an upgrade, and the Viper has the fastest cruise speed in the game already.
The
I'm
fastest
dying
boost
to
speed.
try that.
Upgrade, isn't it?
And it has the second fastest. The Cobra has the fastest.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
And talking about canyons as well, zipping through them, it's going to be quite interesting to see if NPCs are going to be able to do that as well. Apparently, they are going to be able to fly through canyons, so chasing some of them down there,
Fly
having them
through
chase us.
docking slot properly.
Yeah,
without
getting some dogfighting through the
other
canyons.
players.
Yeah, I'm dying to
I would
have that
love
happen.
that. I'd love it.
Just imagine
Astro
trying
Mega.
to. Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just gonna say someone's asked a question, but you speak first, and then I'll bring up the question.
Alrighty. I was just saying I'd love to be flying down the canyon, and because in my head I'd be Luke Skywalker going down the trench, the Death Star.
Yeah,
I think that's what we're all dreaming inside.
Oh, it is.
there is someone who made a video of that, and it looks amazing.
Oh,
Go
they
on.
did. No, I'm done now. So let's carry on. We've got a couple of questions that we want to answer. There's the
Okay.
one you.
Well, how
saying
about
there was the one
favourite
about the
ships
ship.
first? Yeah, let's do
let's
favourite
cover
ships
that one.
first. Oh, well, I have two. Obviously, Fertilands, if anybody knows me, and I also do love the Corvette, so I don't know which one I prefer.
Yeah, I've not really played many of the larger ships apart from on the beta servers, but I don't know. My favourite ship currently is my Anaconda, just because I've got it set up for exploration and I've got a silly jump range out of it. But normally, my favourite combat ship is was my Python before I lost it too many times and couldn't afford the rebuy, because I had prismatic shields on there and 3 advanced plasma accelerators. That thing was a beast.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it drained a lot of power.
What's the
Oh,
jump
that's
range?
still-
on it?
The jump range was about 15 light years, 13 light years maybe. But my Anaconda, my Anaconda has a jump range of about a little over 36 light years with
That's what
the
I meant.
ability to boost quite well. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've got 4 SRVs in there. If I took out the SRVs and the ability to boost, I could get it up to 38 light years.
What's Obsidian Ant's favourite ship? That's what I'd like to know. He's probably mentioned it in one of his videos, so I apologise
Well,
if he
actually,
has.
really like the
I'm guessing
Cobra.
it's the ASP. Oh, I'm right.
Well,
Cobra?
yeah, I like the Asp,
Really?
but I really do like the Cobra. Yeah, I like the way it
I love
handles.
the Cobra.
Yeah, not so good perhaps for combat. I still like the Vulture for combat, and I know it's not really optimal for builds nowadays, but I like the Vulture for combat. But overall,
Oh, me too.
I just love the feel of the Cobra. I love the way it handles. I just love the way it looks. And yeah,
MK3, right?
yeah, not the Mark IV, Mark III.
Yeah, not that turd.
Terrible.
It's also got a great cockpit.
We don't mention the Mark IV here, please.
No, it's that ship that must not be named.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Mark IV, my favourite ship is the Viper Mark IV.
That is a great
I think
ship.
Wow.
It is a great ship. To be honest,
Really?
I'm quite poor. I'm going to be rich when I get back
okay.
to the But so
Okay.
I haven't tried many of the more ships above, like say 50 million. But of all the ones below that, the Mark IV by far is my favorite. It's like you can kid it out for just like the perfect bubble ship. It's got good jump range, got good combat, it's got good planetary landing, everything. Like you can squeeze just about everything onto it.
I would
Yeah, that's one of the reasons
definitely
I
pick
like the
the
Python.
Mark III first over the Mark IV, but yeah, that's fair enough.
I liked the Python because it's pretty much a multi-role ship. You could do trading with up to 280 tons of cargo in it. You can do combat really well. It's similar to me like the Asp. It's a multi-role ship, but whereas the Python focuses more on combat, and the Asp focuses more on jump range and exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Asp is definitely the smuggling king. I love the Asp for smuggling.
Yeah, Ducky's been making use of that a little bit recently.
Okay, well,
Those
what
of
about...
you that don't know, Commander Ducky is my second account.
Okay.
okay.
And he is your what's it called, mascot?
Yes, she is my mascot. Yes,
She.
she's also my pet rat. Yes, it's all right. Don't worry. Commander the Mighty Ducky is my pet rat, so she's currently sleeping in a hammock right now.
We had a rat in my house today. I apologise, but our dog killed it. So
Oh,
no comparison. This was a dirty rat, and your rats are lovely.
yeah, my rats are awesome.
What about you, Cornelius? What's your favourite ship?
I actually tried to figure out, but I don't have any. I have ships that I prefer in some situations or others, but I loved Viper in standard beta. In Gamma, I loved my Asp. I actually even once I flew like for 2 months or so Type 9. It was funny. Yeah, very funny. I actually did all smuggling in my Python. I prefer.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked that.
Python's a very good smuggling ship.
Yeah, Python is also good. Yeah, Asp is best for short sessions. Python actually takes a lot of time. And now probably for trade I would pick Cutter. For combat,
Kaii.
Federlands,
Yeah,
Federal Assault Ship.
Cutter is the quintessential trade ship.
It's ultimate trade ship. Yeah, it's an end game trade ship.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you trade with stations, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm planning to pick one up as soon as I get back from my exploration trip, so I can start working on my credit balance. But I have to paint it Black Friday black.
Yeah, but
otherwise I don't want it. I don't want it looking like an iPod.
If you use Type 9, prepare yourself because it flies like it.
Oh, I know.
It's only much faster, which actually is very impressive, but other than that, it's very Type 9-ish.
Yeah, believe it or not, believe it or not, in the Type 9, I actually managed to get to the top 15% of the combat community goal. Admittedly, this was on the first day, and by the last day, I was down to like the top 90%.
I've actually remember within the Type 9, a lot of people were using it as a missile boat, and I flew them quite a lot back then. Back during, I don't know if it was beta or premium beta, but it was way before the missiles got their nerfs, and you could just totally rack it up with missiles. And if you got interdicted by a player, you're pretty much guaranteed to kill them, but you'd get one or two shots. So if you missed, that was it. Game over for you. But
You remind me of a great time of Gamma when I was flying Asp with 6 dumbfire missiles.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was
that's
interdicted by 3 Viper players. I managed to kill one and almost kill second before I had to run away. It was very fun.
yeah.
But then they nerfed
I
it.
remember
Brooks'
watching,
book.
I remember watching a
in
video
Michael
by
Brooks'
somebody testing out the dumbfire missiles, just firing at an anaconda and seeing how fast they could kill it. I think it might have been Cornelius, but I'm not sure.
I have several videos about dumbfires, yeah. They were huge
very
fun.
much your videos.
Oh, that one.
There's a character called the Hammer, and he replaces his cargo racks with more missile slots. I wish we could do that in game. Maybe with the engineers update, and then like 10 updates after that, they'll somehow work that in. That'll be cool.
That would be nice. That really would be nice if you could add more weapons. to
Anyone
ships.
understands what the hell what mines are doing in this game?
No.
Have anyone
Absolutely
used
no
them and
reason.
understand? Yeah.
Only thing I've found they're good for is dropping in front of an SRV if you're lucky. And that's,
I mean,
blows
I
it
was
up.
testing it
That's the
today.
best.
You've got to be really lucky to do that.
if you could like carpet bomb an area with mines and have 50 of them out there, yeah, I could definitely see it. And if they were magnetic,
You wouldn't
it would
need
actually-
mites for that. You just need carpet bombs. Like, it could be replaced still.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of my Wulff pack was trying to basically cover, like, blanket our home base in mines for when I was coming back from exploration. He's not a troll at all.
Great, yeah.
and also if they had some persistence too. So if you mined an area and would actually stay that way. It'd be really interesting for blockades. If
Yeah,
players could do
frame
that.
rate
It's
will be
actually
like you
mine-
join and your frame rate is 0.1 second.
Yeah,
You remember the
That
time
would
when
be
I was actually at Sagittarius A at the time when my frame rate in Galaxy Map was 0.5 seconds, 0.5 frames per second.
Yeah, that sucks when that happens.
That was, I don't remember exactly, but after that they fixed actually this. But in Galaxy Maps the frame
Yeah,
rate were...
Yeah, when I went to Saj, I ended up having to do the last 1,000 or 2,000 light years one jump at a time because I just could
Yes.
not could
Yes,
not
exactly.
a jump route
Speaking of that,
full.
I've got a video that describes exactly how to plot perfectly easily through the core. So then again,
Shameless self-promotion.
everybody subscribe to my channel. It's got all the good stuff.
Bit of shameless plugging there.
I've been avoiding the core just for that reason. It's so slow to navigate around there.
It's not.
Mm.
That's the point. It's not. If you know how to do it, it's instant. But
Yeah,
it
I
does
think
take-
I did, see a video, I did see a video about how to do it, but I just couldn't get my head around it at the time.
Well, this probably wasn't my video then.
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Troa, what's your favourite ship? I think we haven't asked you yet.
That's a good point.
well, I have two. Well, one of them is
Really?
obviously the Anaconda. I've got, I guess, a couple. But if you were to say which ones were my favorite, I'd have to narrow it down to two. The first one is obviously going to be my Anaconda. I love my Anaconda. That's such a versatile ship. It can do everything and do everything really well. It's a bit bulky, but you have to like a big ship for that, and I happen to. But yeah, if that's the case, you like big ships and you want to do anything in the game, Anaconda all the way. But as much as I hate to admit it, probably my favorite ship is the Cutter. And that's probably going to, any of my subscribers if they're watching or listening here, they're probably going to be looking at me funny because I don't like the Cutter at all. I really think they completely messed that ship up. But I still like that one. I use it for smuggling, sandbox smuggling, where you go and you buy one commodity and you run in under the radar. And I like doing it there because it's A, the biggest payoff, and which is, you know, what smuggling is all about, and B, it's dangerous. That's a very expensive ship, and you're carrying a lot of cargo. So if you mess up, it's pretty devastating. It's the only way I can get that risk-reward factor in a ship that is, you know, fast and has that cargo capacity. So that's the one I get the most enjoyment out of it as far as an actual thing to do in the game.
Like bungee jumping with the bungee cord just slightly fraying.
Oh yeah, but that's why I'm doing it.
That's fair enough. Well,
Have you ever,
I think we should probably move on to probably Elite Dangerous and what we think, what we feel about the game, and where it's going right, where it's going wrong, and obviously people want to talk about engineers. So how about if we move on to that?
Yeah, let's let
Fair
Cornelius start this one off because we're going to get a nice straight direction to go with.
Which part? Engineers or the game state now?
How about if we just talk about where everything is now, what we think is going on now, how we feel about
Okay,
things, and
From
then
my
we'll
perspective,
move
from
into how we
player
feel
who...
engineers.
Okay, from my perspective, from players who invested thousands of hours into this game, it's a great game. Even up to several hundred hours, it's a very great game. It's more than most games now actually can offer. But if we speak about Elite, it's a long-term project. So I expect that you will be playing it after a year, 5 years. But in current state, it's not possible.
We've been playing it up to a year now, and it may be over. So yeah.
Why? Why over?
No, I'm just saying. A bunch of us have already been playing it for up to and over a year.
Ah, you mean, yeah. I am actually playing
yeah,
it
up to now.
2 years. I started in June
time on me,
2014. But
Yeah, I
what I
started
mean
December
is
that
that my biggest problem with Elite is that AI, this is biggest problem, it doesn't scale. When you reach certain level of experience and skill, AI is completely not challenging.
a
And-
certain level, even like a low level, it's not.
Yeah,
And
I was actually
extremely
polite.
low.
Yeah, exactly. It's like taking candy from a child. But
I'll be
different.
honest,
It's like beating a seal.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the difference is
it's
that
like-
it's like
yes, but that candy is not even a candy. It's a rock in paper.
It's
Because
a
reward,
pain
there's
in
no
the head.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem, because I would say that AI should scale depending on what player, new, old, experienced, what combat rank he has, what ship he flies, and how many players are in a wing. They actually did the first.
Fix, though, so I'm not
Yes,
too
it's actually.
pessimistic about it.
It's very easy, and they already took one step ahead. They tie missions to your combat rank. So basically, if you are elite, you will have elite enemies. But why this can't be done in live build? It's a mystery. And why wings? We have wings, but AI doesn't care about that at all. I would love to wing up with my friends, go somewhere in some anarchy system or lawless space, and just have a challenge, a real challenge that would force us to think, to find out best loadouts, weapons, ships, how should we play. Because now it doesn't make any sense to wing up. It's not rewarding. If you bounty hunt, you will share, split all income.
If you were playing back, did you have access to the alpha missions, Cornelius, or when you did you get them premium beta and have access to?
I was in standard.
Player missions that were
No, I
available?
started from standard beta.
Right.
That was first time I
Did anyone else
started.
play those? Because the AI and the combat on those missions was actually pretty good back then.
You know what's funny
On the
also?
single-player missions.
That David Braben
was
said that
quite
it's very easy to make impossible to beat AI, but same time AI we have is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
started me off really getting into those alpha missions. That's one of the things my first.
You mean
YouTube
single player
videos.
missions, yeah?
On the single player alpha missions, they were.
I was
initially the
playing
alpha
single
access,
player premium beta because I could not access my
Yeah.
standard beta, and I had single player build for
Did you
a
find
month.
the AI for the ships there was a bit more of a challenge? Like the one where you'd get a wave after wave, you'd get one ship.
I liked. I played incursion every day. The problem is that
Yeah.
you were flying Sidewinder, default
That's it,
loadout
that's
Sidewinder.
it.
So yeah, it was
But,
challenging, but at that time you could complete that, and my friend actually completed it under 10 minutes incursion.
Oh, there we go. My point was going to be: was it just more challenging because the AI was better, or did it feel more challenging because we were just stuck in Sidewinders?
Yes, actually, that's probably because we were just trying to understand how it works and adjust. Now, after we spent thousands of hours flying around, we know exactly what to expect, and we know exactly how to get us there. With which modules, which weapons, which ships.
Well, I think
Well,
we can
to
agree
be
that
honest-
the AI feels like it's kind of fallen out of the dumbass tree and hit every branch on the way down.
Yeah, getting interdicted by a Sidewinder when you're in like an
Yeah.
Anaconda elite rank.
And he will threaten you and say that it's your last jump. And
I'm gonna
most
blow you.
yeah. And most
To
sad
be
part
honest,
is
if
that
that's your
Key for cargo.
main-
and the most
if
sad
that's your
part
main
is
problem
that
about
you
the
don't
game,
you don't even
It's-
stop to waste your time. You will just jump away because it's not rewarding at all to engage. You will just waste your time.
I don't think it's the biggest problem, but it is definitely immersion breaking, and it really does break the flow of the game when you have something silly like that happen.
Yeah,
I think it's just more of a mild annoyance than anything else, but it's still an annoyance.
No, I mean that if you give players a challenge, a lot of players will stop griefing, stop attacking other players. They will enjoy and wing up with
Yeah.
friends to have fun. It will take away pressure from those players who don't know what to do. They're bored. Griefing actually is not player problem. It's a development problem. If you give enough
yeah,
tools for players to be happy and to play and be engaging, you will never grieve. It takes special kind of player to grieve others.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dr. Kaii was saying something though. What were you saying, dude?
But yeah, thanks. That is I actually agree with that problem. I think that's a very simple problem, but it's also a very easy one to fix. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
it's
not
easy, and that's
pessimistic
why
about
I
that problem.
wonder why it's 2 years, 1.5 years already.
That's a good question. In general, to be honest, like the way I see this game is it's purporting to be a galaxy, and a galaxy, because it's a galaxy, everyone feels like it should have everything because that's what our galaxy has. If you know what I mean, like everyone kind of has so many expectations of what it should have, and my only response to that is not that they shouldn't have those expectations. It's that they kind of just need to wait. And I'm not saying that you're impatient. I'm just saying in general, like it's very easy
I am very
to say, like,
patient.
why haven't we had this yet? It's so obvious that this should be in the game, but to some
You know
degree,
why? I can answer
they've
you.
got
Sorry.
So much to do, and the game is really young. I just want to finish this point. I think this game, like, is 2 years sounds like a long time, but for a game like this, it's surprisingly young. If it's going to be 10 years long, in 10 years' time, if it hasn't got some of the really important stuff that we need, then we have a right to like be really bashing Frontier. But right now, I think they're doing okay. And in terms of like what they've
How
released
many
so far,
hours you
they've-
invested in the game? Actually, it's an interesting question.
Pardon?
How many hours you played?
I don't know how many hours, but
Plus minus,
if we
just-
looked,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we looked over at the exploration data, I've logged in over 9 weeks
Okay.
into the game.
Yeah, I've got about 6 weeks, so not that much less. But
Yeah, I
What
don't know
about
what
an
mine-
exploration mission takes a long time, so
I'm under 1,000 hours, I'm sure of that.
You know, that's
yeah.
yeah.
And then there's
Probably not
another
very much.
aspect to this game that it is kind of like I was saying this before when we were chatting. I was just saying basically this game right now it relies much more heavily on the player's imagination than providing stuff for the player. It's got some basics and it's got quite a lot of intricate basics but a lot of people say that it's quite dead. It's just like a bunch of playing with numbers. Kind of agree with that, but there's a lot of people that buy this game in order to fuel their own imagination and provide like their own stories. And for those people, this game is perfect, or at least it's coming along. And for the other people who don't play like that, who want a game to kind of give them stuff to do, give them leaderboards, give them missions that are really complex and fun, and this game actually probably is a bit lacking in that area, and I feel sorry for those people. But I'm quite.
But you will
optimistic
become
that
these
eventually-
people eventually, because everybody in 10 years will be experienced, and the game at current
Yeah.
state, everybody just will quit. I see it all around me. Not every, but most of my friends stop playing because it's not anymore rewarding, challenging, interesting. They tried it all. They reached
Yeah,
one
that
level.
happened to me.
Yes, and it's nothing more to do. And I think it's exactly because there's no challenge.
This
AI
game's
should
quite
give.
addictive, though.
I
You
just
stop playing.
think there's
crazy.
no depth to what's there actually. It's like we've got this vast vast galaxy, and it's filled with wonderful planets to visit and so much variety in that sense, with so much to explore in that sense. But there's no actual things there to see. There's no other alien civilizations, no other.
Not
They are
yet, at
filling
least.
it up.
There's.
Slowly
I mean,
but
all
steady,
that's
they're filling it
that's
up.
coming, but when? This is the big question. Is this happening in engineers? I don't think so. And
Guys, what do you
I-
think?
Every update
When's
is
they
gonna
gonna do
bring a
this?
little bit.
What do you say?
Oh, I just wanna
Do you think
Yeah,
maybe
I
Frontier
think
should
Michael
ask
Wilson
players
said so.
more? Maybe they should involve more experienced players into development of the game,
Like
I
Obsidian
would.
Ant.
because they obviously
There
don't
might be
play
a little bit
their
of
own
gameplay
game.
to that.
They have
think
other
we
stuff to
should
do.
Stick a pin.
What
You know,
would
guys,
you rather
quickly, I
have?
want to
Would
stick a pin
you?
in something. One of the guys asked a question. I just want to pin this before we carry on. Google Superstar was asking, what do we all think of the docking computer? So we'll come back to that after we finish this.
No, it just means that if you play this game for many, many thousands of hours, you see all. It's not, of course, you are not the ultimate one who can say, but if you take a group of such players, there can be very nice feedback. It can really help benefit not only new players, because they will become experienced at some point. And if the game is not evolving, they will move on. That's what's happening. There are other
think the point
games.
that-
I
I
mean,
think the point
personally,
that both James and Cornelius are making there, I think, like was mentioned earlier, being on the opposite ends of the spectrum, you've got the Elite Galaxy itself, the world that Frontier have created, through the Stellar Forge, and I guess you can put into that the flight mechanics of the ships. All of that's really, really good, I personally feel. And then on the other side of that, you've got the game elements, the gameplay mechanics that they've put into that world. And I think you can look at the galaxy they've created in the world, and it might seem a bit sparse at the moment, but I think it'd be hard pressed to argue against saying that world's actually quite well designed. But when it comes down to the gameplay mechanics, we don't know what's a challenge, what is it we do in the game, and those are the areas that perhaps need more work, I think.
They definitely need a little bit more work. They're
Come on
filling
to the
out a
world.
bit.
And it's easy
Just
to
think
Everybody
they
was
should
following
have-
just the world. You'll see how the game is meant to be played. Like one example at least. Everyone had an absolute. Everyone said it was the best gaming experience of their lives. Everyone who came to me, and I think that says a lot about what this game can offer if it's played in the way, in a certain way. Maybe that way isn't for everyone, and I do feel sorry for the people that don't get anything out of that type of play. This game probably needs to offer more to them. But again, for those people, I just want to say, like, be patient. Like, this game is still very young. and we've already invested loads of money, etc., and we're feeling quite peeved. But Frontier aren't sleeping. They are. When they release an update, you can tell straight away that they've spent months and months and months on the update. I'm just waiting to see what
Especially
engineers
with this
going
one.
to
Well,
Especially
my
engineers update. We've been waiting 6 months for this. So I hope.
Yeah, but 6 months isn't that long for a major patch to a game. Like, play any other game.
I imagine they've been working on it for a lot longer than this, and I know it's not a great amount of time, but it just made me laugh.
When what's it called, Horizons was announced, I was like in shock by how, like, when it got announced, I thought, oh no, they're only setting 3 months. It can't be that good. They're going to mess it up. It's too important a thing. And then when it was released, you could tell it's just, oh my gosh, it was just, everyone agreed Horizons was incredible. I don't think there was a single person complaining about it.
Oh no, it's a wonderful start. I think Horizons is a good step in the right direction. What I am questionable about is the introduction of engineers and this random number generator with the upgrading of weapons.
Yes,
I
you'll
don't
have
wanna
to
get
grind
too
a
much
lot.
into that yet, but I just think more effort should have been put into creating the world itself, as in adding a bit more life to the galaxy.
If you
rather than
mean by life,
introducing a whole new mechanic.
if you mean more sense, then I agree with life, because I don't want to see chatter on comms like when you are docking. It doesn't. It brings life, but it doesn't bring sense to other stuff. If after 5 minutes you'll be interrupted by stupid NPC again, who will threaten you and just.
That's it. What I mean by that is that, like, if you're, say, trading in an anaconda, all of a sudden you're brought out.
And
of
you are
sequence by
elite
2
combat rank, an
anacondas.
example.
You know, and maybe other people drop in. Like, if you're in a high security area and somebody interdicts you, then, you know, you immediately have the police showing up. There's more interaction. Like right now, there's no
True.
difference between low security and high security. And I think really that's a massive mistake.
Apparently we're having a lot of changes to the AI in 2.1. Like, we're going to be having persistent NPCs. So I'm curious to see how that's going to affect things. So NPCs aren't just going to spawn randomly. We're going to have persistent NPCs flying around the universe. Or the galaxy even. I made that mistake in my last video. I don't want people jumping down my throat again. But they're going to be flying around. They're going to be jumping from system to system, being persistent. So are they going to be changing? I imagine that's going to be having a rework to their basic AI. Perhaps they'll have the cabbage pulled out and actually have a working brain put in, or at least half of one.
Even if they just scale AI, it already will solve problems. All they need is to scale AI. 4 players, multiply by 4. Also take into consideration which system it is. It's secure system or lawless space. In lawless space, of course, multiply even more. That way we will have.
To see myself as well. A difference between the different states of
different
systems.
states.
And because we're getting a chance to track them, perhaps things are going to be working differently. Now, they have hinted that this is going to be changing. So I'm curious to see how it ends up working.
But we could track them before, only not in Galaxy map.
The ability to start following around NPCs, that potentially opens up a whole lot of new gameplay styles, doesn't it?
It does, certainly. But we've got Google Superstar asking again. He's the same guy who asked about the docking computer. Would it be a good idea to involve us guys as an expert team to enrich the game environment? I assume he's talking about Frontier, talking to us about things. We are kind of heads of our respective communities. Yeah.
Frontier do that kind of stuff. They do speak to certain people.
The whom?
They just, again,
they don't talk to me.
Yeah, don't talk to me as well. And I didn't talk to even. Yeah.
Well, they talk to some people. I don't know.
You know that for fact, or you just speaking that because you think they are?
Well, when I was doing Distant Worlds, I was talking to Ed every day, Ed Lewis, and it's one thing, I don't know. It's obviously I didn't get him to influence the future of the game, but Frontier, you know, if you want to start getting involved, then Frontier will reach out to you. They're very open like that. If you speak to them, they will answer. If you just go and complain on Reddit, they probably won't.
It actually replies to your emails. My God, he doesn't reply mine.
Yeah, he replies to mine every so often, but I email Zach and he quite often gets back to me.
Busy. That's also Zach or Ed's, like, you can be in touch with them.
But yes,
Especially
Zach,
if you're
Ed,
quite
anybody
pushy.
else at Frontier, stop
That's
ignoring
part of
Connie.
what those guys are there for, though, isn't it?
What is your opinion on Ed? Ed is probably the most legendary person that's ever.
He's got very shiny hair.
If
It
David
is
Brawen never steps
extremely
down,
shiny.
Ed should step up. Yes, and he's got a brilliant voice. I don't know if you ever heard him sing. Go type in Ed Lewis on YouTube, and he's got a very angelic voice. My preference for the future, I'm not really that interested with engineers because I'm an explorer, and obviously my interest is seeing exploring develop. I think the galaxy has a lot of room for development, but I know that it's not a priority at Frontier, and there's been a few hints that they're quite happy with where exploration is. I just really hope one day they do intend to improve it. I don't know what anyone else
Yeah,
thinks about that.
we have had hints in that direction of that we're not going to be able to, for much longer, go out in unarmed exploration ships.
Yeah.
We're going to be having a threat out there that is not human. They've also said that we're going to be getting points of the way the points of interest are going to be generated are going to differ, change.
Ooh, that'll be good.
So after so many thousands of light years away from civilized space, the human origins of points of interest are not going to be there anymore. And I liked the phrasing that they used. The human ones are not going to be there anymore.
So it could be
what is
stuff
that
at
going to
other
be?
time,
What does that
maybe.
leave us with? Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
as
not.
Commander Sen Half has just said in the comments there's also the missing out there as well, isn't it? That's the colonies of people that left human space years ago, and they're meant to be out there missing, supposedly meant to be shipwrecks out there, and maybe even other colonies at some point. And that's something that Frontier have actually spoken about and said they want in the game, and hopefully as part of Season 2.
Yeah,
But
because
as
they
to
have
where
said that
specifically
there's,
that'd be.
I would
they
love
have said there's
to
going to be a lot
see.
of content.
Yeah,
That's
I would
what-
love to be able to go exploring and not know what I'm going to come across. So there could be danger out there. There could be things to find and maybe use.
If there would be danger, there will be a lot of cry on forums. Because
I think
explorers
even
usually don't
communities
have
would get involved in
weapons.
exploration if there was danger.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
There is an exploration community request list. If you go and look at it, I mean, it's broken up into categories. I actually started it. This is not a plug because I don't get anything out of this, but I'm just saying that there is so many millions of ideas about the way I think
It's
probably
natural,
the
you said it by
most-
yourself, that it's a universe live and everybody is entitled to own wish.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why when it comes to people asking for things and getting upset that their own things haven't come in, like I can't be upset that they haven't improved exploration for 2 years just because there's so much other stuff they need to do. Even if exploration is the main attraction for the game because it's advertised as a
Can you
galaxy.
name several stuff they should improve first before exploration?
Well,
I'm
everyone has
curious.
their own preferences even within that. So for me, I would prefer having
AI.
a more rich galaxy and more like stellar objects. I mean, go and look at Space Engine. It's made by one guy and it's got 100 times more depth in terms of actual space. But yeah, there's also like lots of improvements to the way system data works, the maps, the gameplay itself, different types of missions, different like modules you can have for exploration. Go and read the exploration list. I think
There's one
everyone-
thing I'd like to point out as well. There's one thing that a Frontier said that really intrigued me. Is once they were asked if there's things in the game that haven't yet been discovered, they had a little bit of a crafty smile. Went, "Oh yes, there is." So there's a lot of stuff in the game that has not yet been discovered, and I'm really.
And
curious
then
to find
Michael
out what
Brooks
this is.
made that elusive statement. He went, "Oh, I don't think anyone's found any sentient life yet." I'm like, "What? What?" Because yeah, even in the bubble, no one's found any sentient life. I'm like,
I think
okay.
they're
Was this
baiting
before or
you,
after-
to be honest.
Was this before or
Michael
after we found
Brooks
the
said that.
barnacles?
That was after. That was the last. It was
Ooh.
about a month and a half ago when he did
So is
exploration.
he saying? So is he saying that the barnacles aren't sentient?
Well, he's probably saying that there's other sentient life other than the Thargoids, which obviously is considered the barnacles.
Well, we do know that there's going to be more than just the Thargoids coming in, because we can see this by looking at the barnacles, the unknown artifacts. They quite clearly are from two different races.
I mean, for all we know, he could just be referring to the fact that you might find lights on the dark sides of ERWs when you're out there. I don't know, but it could be anything from that all the way up to actual like spacefaring life. I don't know. Yeah. Michael Brooks can be a troll too, says Skipper. Those
Oh
are
yes,
wise
we
words.
know.
I agree.
Yes. Oh, we kind of forgot about one thing. What do we think about the docking computer? The all-important question.
Honestly, I've never had. I've heard so many people having problems with it, but I've never once had a problem with it.
I've never actually used it.
I had a couple of mishaps.
Do you remember a time when shooting a docking computer can blow up your ship?
No, I didn't. Never noticed.
Yeah, there was a time when if you destroy docking computer module, you destroy the ship. Same as power plant. Yes, that was very fun time.
Oh no, because I usually use my docking computers when I'm trading because I get bored and I like to just zone out for the last little bit. But I had a couple of mishaps where it flew me through the letterbox and clipped me to the side of the thing because I was using a trade ship with really minimal shields. The shields would go down, I'd lose like about 10% of my hull. So I ended up just starting to fly in through the letterbox myself and then let the docking computer take over the last little bit, just because it seems the fastest and most efficient way of getting down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything against it, but I never used it.
Astro Mika asked another question. I don't know if you guys are interested in answering, but it sounds kind of fun. What's the most exciting thing you ever discovered?
Planet Bob, for me.
Planet Bob.
Yes, Planet Bob is a Earth-like world with 2.2 Earth masses. It's rings with high metal content rings, and it's orbiting a K-class star. It's about 8,000 light years away from habitable space, and I love it because I remember once that I was talking to Obsidian Ant about him never finding a ringed Earth-like, and then within the next week I found it.
You found one yourself.
I also actually found one.
You found one?
Oh, I?
Cornelius?
Yeah. I also, on my trip to Sagittarius, I found Earth-like with rings.
That's so cool. I found an Earth-like orbiting a one of those Tinder planets, the molten lava planets. It was the moon of
cool.
molten planet.
Yes, it's named Planet Bob after Titan A, John Smith. I'm a big fan of lots of sci-fi films, especially that one. My favourite one, actually, my favourite sci-fi animated film ever is actually Treasure Planet by Disney. I love that film.
There is a system called Bob, by the way.
Yes, I know. People keep telling me about this and keep asking me if that's where Bob is. No, it's not. It's over in this system over there, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Fair enough. Someone's asked, do you really think there was
Wilfred.
a chance of people running into aliens at the start of the game, or was that more of an example?
Not at the beginning of the game, I don't think.
No.
I don't think the content was there at the beginning. Was the cake a lie?
Oh, what do you guys expect for multi-crew? That's something we didn't discuss before.
No, it's far ahead.
I don't think it's going to work, to be honest. I mean, I can't imagine people going on somebody else's ship and letting them fly while they press a few buttons. But
it will work only if there will be specific ships designed for that, because current ships do not require more than one person to handle it. If we will have huge ships, then maybe.
I'm really curious. What
I
really want to see is a new module. I want a new weapon module. I want to see like a bubble turret, which you can sit inside. Just imagine, like in
that would be possible multi-crew.
Yeah. Just imagine the original Star Wars when they're running away in the Millennium Falcon, and Luke and Han are in the turrets, just blasting away at the TIE fighters. How epic would that be to play that kind of
that'd
scene?
be fantastic, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'd be saying over the comms, don't get cocky, kid. Just for the hell of it.
Definitely.
I would fly my wife to the moon. Go on.
Sorry. No, you go on.
That's it. That's all I was going to say. Carry on.
All right. I was just going to say the question I have about multi-crew is how will we go about joining a friend's ship? Are we going to have to fly to them, or are we just going to be able to kind of spawn in their ship?
No, we'll be teleported, most likely.
That would be interesting.
If they're on the opposite end of the galaxy,
a galactic bus. I could bus people between their stations where their ships are.
And if you do fly to them, you fly to them in your own ship, and then you transport yourself in whatever way to their ship. What's going to happen to your own ship?
Well, maybe what's going to happen, or other than it'd be like an SRV where you drop out into like a pod that goes over to the person's ship, and then you can dismiss your ship like you do on the ground.
Maybe that's what you're going to have to do. You just have to land on a planet in order to drive over and just dock in somebody else's ship, maybe.
In any way, it should be easy and very, very easy to manage. It should not be too hard.
It should be. No, I don't imagine.
I think we will be teleporting there.
Yeah, just
I
magic.
can't-
You just
Yeah,
join and
teleport
replace
from-
NPCs on board,
really?
probably.
Yeah. Could you imagine you got to fly an hour or 2 hours just
Yeah,
to meet
yeah,
up with someone?
And then, yeah, connection
that's
graph.
so-
Someone has
Well,
asked.
I always thought that exploration would work well with multi-crew, because if you could teleport to someone and say, "Oh, have a look at this," zoop, there they are. Would that work?
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
that's the same
not in
question.
exploration.
I hope.
Probably you should be in same system at least, or something like that.
Someone has asked how any tips for aspiring YouTubers. I think that's a great question from you guys. I'd love to hear your answer.
Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, you've got loads and loads and loads of time.
Yeah,
Contact
which I
us.
don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Send
It's
us a
crazy.
message on the forums. We can promote you. That's probably the best advice we can give. We all got famous from being promoted, probably except for the very first ones. But
I was never
I don't know.
promoted.
I never really was to start with until after I got past a certain point. I got popular for making videos that weren't there. Like my first famous video for Elite was my first mining tutorial, because I couldn't find anything on it. So I thought, you know what, sod this. I'm going to start making videos that I want to see. Like Cornelius says,
Yeah.
you just make videos that you yourself would want to watch, and that's the way I deal with my videos.
That's how I did it too.
That's my suggestion
got-
also.
you-
Make videos that you would
You've got to
like
have
to
a passion
watch.
for it, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
not
would
only that, but
suggest
if you
that-
keep them to a good quality as well. Because if you make videos where perhaps, let's say, maybe you drone on a bit, people will want to not to watch. Not everybody has a right voice for it. But then you've got people like Isanona who don't actually talk in their videos, or at least none that I've watched myself. He just types at the bottom. Personally, I can't watch those kind of videos because I'm heavily dyslexic and I don't read that fast. So I like to listen to people.
I
Obsidian
think
was
it's
saying
also
something. I
you've got
wanna
to
hear
have
his
a
advice.
passion for it. You got
Yeah,
to have a passion for
it.
what you do.
Definitely.
And, you know,
If you
gotta
go
create
into it with a
content
job, sorry, if you go into it with kind of a business mindset, like, oh, I want to do this as my job,
yeah,
you're
it's
not
going
gonna
to
be-
fail. It's going to fail.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
I also think
you-
it's one of the tips I would say is just if you want to end up with there's no guarantees you're going to end up with views or you're going to end up with subscribers. So you've got to have the passion for it, like everyone's
Do it
saying.
for yourself in first
And that-
place.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So you'll
make
do the
videos for
regard-
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
you'll
do
do
it
the videos
out of
regardless that way.
wanting. Yeah, don't make videos out of wanting to be famous out of it. I mean, every single one of us here in this podcast, we started off doing it because we had a passion for the game. It helps as well that we all jumped on the bandwagon fairly early, but I don't think any of us expected our channels to do as well as they have.
Actually, I started late making content, so I only started like in November last year. Sorry.
Well, there is always exceptions.
But you have advantage. You know exactly what your rivals are doing. So you watch us
Yeah.
closely, and then
Yeah.
I will
Yes.
jump in.
I'm going to do something
Yes.
these losers are not doing.
Yeah, actually,
Yes,
you.
no, I saw.
Yeah.
I caught you watching me through the bathroom window the other day, so be warned.
I only do that on weekends.
I have a drone for that. That's you don't get caught. I'm traceable. My biggest tip actually for YouTubing. I'm not a big YouTuber just yet, but the reason why I've got where I've got to is patience. I think everyone here should also agree with that. Like, even if you're not getting the subscribers, just keep doing it. Like, don't be disheartened. Like, you can make 25 videos and get like 20 views each, but then eventually someone will notice you and someone will find your videos interesting, hopefully, and it will get shared, and then you'll get
If they're
100
good enough to
subscribers.
That's what actually I am saying to myself always. If I have X number of subscribers, I always say that's the number you deserve. You can't
Yeah,
want more because you don't get more.
yeah.
If you
Just
would,
do-
if you would
just
make
don't-
better videos, you would have more subscribers. That's easy. Just make
Yeah, but
best you
some
can.
people get put off
Mhm.
because they can see like, oh, I've just spent two hours making this video and only 5 people have watched it in the last month. They might think, oh, well, why should I bother? But just bother. Like,
problem-
you're not making the videos necessarily for the whole world to see. If you're just doing it because you love it, like everyone's saying, and you're not disheartened and you're patient, then that is probably the best.
You'll make the
advice you
videos
can get.
regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think
But I do
let's
think
get
we
it
should
back
have
on.
It's important to be
enough.
consistent with them, but yeah.
Yeah, let's get things back on topic of Elite Dangerous, because otherwise we'll be here talking all day about YouTube. Let's focus on engineers. I think a lot of people want to know what we think about that and how we feel and what we feel about it, and especially after the news that came out in the newsletter that it's now going to be a random number generator. How do we all feel about that?
I facepalmed so hard when I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
I gave myself a concussion from that facepalm. It's like, no, not random number generators. I'd be happy if it did set values. Because if you're doing this for PvP, the random number generator is going to give some people advantages over others. And then you've got a 75% chance, apparently, of getting an extra effect on top, like the phase whatever, or the 4 shells, or something along those lines. Why do we need a percentage chance for that? Why can't we ask... I hope we can at least ask specifically for a specific thing, because all these effects are also color-coded. And if you're OCD like myself and having 3 different or 5 different weapons with all 5 different bloody colours, you're going to feel like a bloody fluffy unicorn dancing on rainbows.
I don't want to be shooting rainbows. It just doesn't fit in with my MO.
You know, from somebody who just finished playing Division because of this, there's exactly the same problem. You will have to craft gear and weapons, and you never know what you will have in the end. You only know the item name. It's all. All other stats are completely random. And this is what it looks like in Elite Engineers.
Yeah. Do we know for sure then that it's the effects that are random rather than just the stats?
No, nobody knows. No. It's just from screenshot. It's hard to tell.
Next week to test it.
Yeah, next week we'll tell.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm wondering whether it's just a chance for a specific effect or just a chance for a random effect. It's two different things, really, isn't it?
I've got to put up a graphic that shows you the possibilities of what could happen, percentage-wise, and it is.
But it's only rank 3 if you are relating to these screenshots. It's rank 3 overcharged weapon.
Yeah.
There'll be rank 4, 5, and different weapons. Yeah. I wonder how many micro resource rank 5 will require, because 15 for rank 3, it's a lot.
Yeah.
We need more material. We can't. We need limit of materials. 300 is just not enough.
Certainly.
Yeah, I think they are increasing that though. Yeah, I think
hopefully,
they're lifting the cap.
But I know a lot of people, like especially Obsidian Ant, are worried about these special effects for the weapons, like the healing beam and so on, are possibly going to...
Obsidian Ant is worried about healing beam?
No, that as well. He's concerned about the fact that it might change the game into being a bit more of a holy trinity like MMOs, because this game is not designed as an MMO. It seems like it might be borrowing some elements from these type of games, and are we going to be happy with this or not?
Yeah, it seems very early to say at the moment, but is the game heading in the direction where you're going to have a wing, and one of the members is going to be a healer, and the other one's going to be a tank, and the other one's going to be a damage dealer? There seems to me that the setup with the weapons they've got opens up the possibility to that.
It's very early to tell. I need to know exactly how many megajoules this beam laser actually heals, because it doesn't make sense if it doesn't heal you seriously. So it's very early to tell.
Get together and test this.
We need all to test this.
I think we will test get together on the beta server and test it out, because I'm definitely going to be on there testing things out.
I will also be testing things. Yeah, sure. I want to try new huge weapons, compare them between projectile speeds. I actually want to see how much better those 2 and 3 class thrusters are for Eagle, Imperial Eagle, Viper.
Test that out as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab Obsidian and Eramis and go looking for the Explorer engineers. I think that's what I'm going to do.
I'm hoping that as the testing YouTubers and everything, we might get kind of a list of where things are and how to go and test them, because that'd be nice, because otherwise we'd be just kind of trying to find our ass
exactly. You remember when they added
without a flashlight?
You remember they added 4 new ranks to Empire and Federation at one beta?
Yes, I remember.
And they did not tell it.
Last time, yeah.
And then after that they forgot that they added those levels. Not forgot the levels, but they increased speed that you can gain. And first week they actually rolled back, but then they re-rolled back. So yeah, we need to know what exactly we can test. So it would help them as well, not only for us.
Yeah, because we'd be able to get better quality videos out and get more
better quality videos, and they will know exactly what's not working.
Yeah, because
There is a
if we
video
if we
makers
have a
forum in the
list,
forums.
yes, there is, but most of it's dead. I'll be honest. I'm part of it.
Let's bring it to life.
It was lively to begin with, but then it kind of just petered off like after a week or so.
I blame myself once I joined.
I blame you too.
I think we all do.
It's okay. I'll take the blame.
I think
But,
the
yeah.
amount of variations with weapons and hopefully modules is quite possibly going to be a good thing, though.
We found a lot of different types of weapons that we're going to have effects on. Like there's the phase disruptor. I think it is the.
We have the
railgun.
force shell, the beam healing, thermal shock, incendiary rounds, missile damage, and emissive weapon.
Yeah, the
I want to know
yeah,
what
that one.
Troa Barton thinks about engineers. He's stalking again.
He's lighting up, boy.
But you know why they implemented
Bloody
these
car.
random stats? Because they want players to spend more time in game. You can't get what you want in first attempt. You will have to grind and try, and if you are lucky, you can get in several attempts. But if you are not lucky, you will be doing like 50, 60, 100 modifications before you get what you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid.
They will
of.
force, players to do same actions again. But that's only required in open play. If you are explorer, you don't really care about that. Go solo and private group, and you're fine.
No, but a lot of these bonus effects
NPCs
are
will be
really
using as well,
changing
yeah.
the way things work. Oh yes, yes. But like that railgun that pops your shields if you're using a shield cell.
Oh, it's
bank,
crazy,
that's going to be insane. Yeah, I've got some PvP guys in my Wulff pack that are absolutely they're creaming themselves, waiting for this.
You know what? If that will actually go through, because they said that they will tweak in beta, but if that will go through, probably it's end of shield cell banks in PvP. At least in group PvP, because one-on-one it's you can find time to charge your shields, but if you are against 4, 8, 10 enemies, everybody will be trying to catch you when you charge shields.
Well, not everybody's going to be having access to those.
I think
somebody was asking earlier,
hardcore guys will go and get it first.
obviously, yeah. But somebody was asking earlier whether the engineer bonuses, these kind of things, are going to be available to not just people with horizons, but I do believe that you're only going to be able to utilize what the engineers are doing if you have horizons. Because originally it was going to be for everybody, but then I think Frontier kind of realized that they'd shoot themselves in the foot, so they had to kind of go backsies on that one. So now it does seem that engineers are only going to be for people with horizons, but that's fine because we got 1.6 coming in with all the new huge weapons. And I've got to say, I hate the look of the huge beam laser.
It's very weird,
I'm
yeah.
not
It's like pulse laser more than beam laser.
It is. It looks horrible, and it's got recoil on it that doesn't match the fire. But then again, this is.
The way it animates, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Be dirty
I'll be
here,
honest,
but
it does look a bit
my
like a sex toy,
God,
doesn't it?
It does.
I mean,
Like
if
something
it
that
doesn't
should
need
be in
animation.
wife's bottom drawer with batteries. I don't know.
I'd hate to see how many AAAs that thing goes through.
Oh,
Well,
I brought it down to
beam
that level
laser,
again.
so it does draw a lot of power.
It does. But like I said, I don't like the look of it. I think it looks very imperial, so it'd look more fitting on
Cutter.
the Cutter than it would on the Corvette. I think on the Corvette it just would.
It's
not
because
fit
it was
well.
white. If it would be dark,
Yes,
then it would better look on
it was
Corvette.
grey, then it fits everything. Yes.
But
And actually,
the C4
multi-cannon was
though,
better
that
looking
thing
for,
rocks.
yeah.
Yeah, the
And
huge
multi-cannon
cannon
better
more
looks
like
on
a front
Corvette.
cannon. It looks awesome. Yeah, that's what I think as well. I'm really looking forward to trying that out.
Oh yeah, that's.
But
one thing I'm
missions now
looking
will
forward
give
to.
also not only credits, but materials and other goodies.
Yeah, we're going to get loot
So-
rewards for it as well, so that's kind of nice.
So I'm not sure
gonna give
about
more-
engineers being only on horizons. Maybe some engineers will be found at stations, not on planets.
Yeah,
No, I
pretty
think
sure
they're
we
only
heard
making
that
them
they're
on
all-
planets.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. We might get more that are going to be introduced that are not just on planets.
Hmm. I also heard that.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
That'd be interesting. I thought they would just be planets, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to finding out how we go and contact them as well. Because apparently, to start with, you have to get like certain ranks and things. Like if you get like a certain rank in the explorer rank,
As I understand,
perhaps,
you'll
then
have to grind reputation. Then you have
yeah,
access.
but this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
so
the,
pretty much everything I
the
think is going to
initial-
be locked behind.
It's definitely going
reputation
to be
walls, aren't they?
locked behind a grind wall, definitely. But the initial contact is going to be you have to satisfy a certain set of criteria. Like, let's say one of them deals with explorers. Perhaps you have to be a certain rank in the explorer rank to a certain level in the explorer rank, even English much.
And to reach rating
get
5,
them-
you have to watch all Obsidian Ends videos.
Yes, that would be. I would certainly do that. I would love that. And what would I get? The guy that specializes in mucking about. I don't know. But yeah, no, we've got some. I think.
But they did not reveal any modules. You see, they revealed only weapons. I want to see if we can.
There's one module that they have kind of. There's a couple of modules that they've shown that we can change, because if you saw in the last newsletter, we can go and modify a power distributor. That's something I spotted there.
Yeah, that's true. But that's actually very good.
And not
because
not only that, they're going to be selling different.
I mean, you
individual
were
modules.
speaking about explorers. So explorers care about framesheet
Yes,
drive
yes.
most. So will we be able to
Yeah,
modify framesheet drive?
I imagine we will.
Yeah.
I imagine we're going to be able to modify all of the set internals as well as like shield generators and stuff like that. I imagine we might even be able to modify a shield cell bank to resist that railgun, perhaps. I have a feeling that's where we're going to end up going. There's going to be
I
a
doubt
Why
that.
a shield cell bank?
But I think we're going to have a couple of surprises yet as to what we're going to be able to modify on our ships. There's
Oh,
going
I
to be a
don't
few
doubt
things I
it.
think we're not expecting.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
doubt it at all. I'm really
If I
looking
can
forward to the ice
increase
mining.
the jump range on my Fertilance and on my Corvette, I'll be much happier.
What,
I
get
just
your,
need ship
your
delivery
fertilizer
finally.
to like 5 light years.
We just need ship delivery finally implemented, so we can order our ships from one station to another.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would
Well,
help
that'd
a
be
lot.
nice, even if it did real lifetime. Even if it took like real lifetime to get
Yeah, and
somewhere, I'd
even
be
if
down
that
with
would cost you some money, because
thing
Yeah, no, I'd be happy with that as well.
from this everybody would benefit. Every single one who owns more than one ship would benefit from that.
Well, the thing I'm most concerned about with engineers is if the cons are going to be too great. I mean, we're going to spend all this time collecting all this material, money, and effort in finding these people. If it's going to make it to where it is 50% better and 50% worse at the same time, we have a net gain of 0. And we spent all this time for a net gain of 0. That's what I'm concerned about. I mean,
What do you mean
if you're
50% worse?
upgrading your ship, 50% or 50% worse, exactly. I mean, if it
No,
makes
I
your
mean,
ship
what do you mean by 50% worse? Which module will? Which
Well,
mod will?
It's the slider
say-
scales for each of the things he's saying. They're going to have like a certain percentage lower and a certain percentage higher. You can have a
Yeah,
random
like,
scale
like take a-
on that.
For
And
example,
overall,
but-
it'll average out at about the same. He's
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, like take a beam laser for example. If it makes it to where it does 50% more damage, but draws 50% more energy, you have a net gain of 0. And if
Yeah,
we spend
true.
all this time and energy and money and effort in finding these people and doing all this, did we get anything from wasting our time?
But they said that
something I'm really concerned about.
mods will be having positive effects more than negative, so there will not be
Yeah,
net
it
gain of
says that the
0.
overall,
Yeah, overall you will gain.
gain.
Yes. So
Very true.
You
I mean, if
gain
they
by the way the playstyle changes. Go on.
Yeah, and if they make it to where you only get maybe a 10% bonus, again, is it worth the time and effort? You know, that's something I'm really concerned about, because we as testers are going to spend all the time to actually get these things, and we're going to make all the time to make the video and edit it and upload it and all this other stuff. And by the time it gets out there, I'm going to be, I don't want to have a video where I go, no, this was a complete waste of time, and this video is pretty much useless.
I think we've all
Yeah,
got
I
videos
felt-
like that.
I know,
Real.
and that's the thing. That's a trend I've been having, and it's not something I'm really happy about in the direction of the game. Is we spend all this time for nothing. I mean, I get it. It's a game, but we want to at least achieve something, and that's the thing. There's no achievement at the end
Yeah.
of the game. Once you
that's what
once
I
you
was
get past
speaking.
the
No
ships,
rivalry
there's-
competition between players as well.
And yeah,
Yeah,
if you want to make it more
that's-
competitive, If you want to
Yeah.
make it more competitive, you have to make it to where it's reward on skill and forethought rather than just random chance. You know, so this whole random thing that comes into your weapon being modified, A, that doesn't fit with an engineer at all because engineers want things exact. And B, you can't do anything competitive after that, and trying to balance it is going to be impossible. So this is too much.
Actually, balancing is
it's-
the other
it's-
concern. How they will balance, because what works in PvE will not work in PvP and vice versa.
No,
Yeah.
Well, in
and
PvE,
that's
most
the
things
problem,
in
isn't it?
PvE works, but
Yeah, don't
yeah,
get me
some
started
of
on
them cross over, but
PvP.
there's not much.
it's a
there's nothing
possibility
to
in
do
the
for
game. You can
PvP
meet other
other than
players,
just
so
fight.
I mean, there's
It's only one build and only one ship. If you really
yeah,
want to
that's
get
why I
serious
don't do it
about
anymore. That's exactly why I hate it now. It was great fun before, but what they did now,
Yeah,
sad.
Well, before we carry on, there's another pin I wanted to put in. Bazinga's been asking us what's... Because we seem to be kind of stalling a little bit, but Bazinga's brought up a new topic of what do we think about the upcoming new player power play faction. I mean, I've got a lot riding on this because I'm part of the wild cards.
I don't
I
care
think
about
it's
power
great.
play in current state.
yeah,
doesn't
I'm
appeal
not
to
a
me.
Big
don't-
fan of power play at the moment.
No,
I'm
I
backing
personally-
Sep all the way.
Yeah, I don't like power
think
play
it's
at all
great.
personally, but I'm really happy to see that there's a player-run organization that's getting recognized like that. I think all of the power play leaders should have been like that from the beginning. It would have been much more
Yes.
interesting.
Just what I was
That I
about to say. I
agree
think
with.
it's great that a player can become a power like that, but that's a separate issue. But it's a power play itself. But yeah,
Yeah, I think power play itself was a great idea that was very poorly implemented.
Agree.
The modules that you get, the power play specific modules, only one or two of them are actually any use, and both.
And
them
some
are
of them still
inferior.
don't work.
Yeah, some of them still definitely don't work. Yeah, we know this.
Yeah.
I think the only two that are any good are what I used to have on my Python, were the prismatic shields, which
Prismatics.
is
Oh, love 'em.
one of the videos that I actually slated them in the first video I had. I didn't think they were any good, but I kind of later realised that yes, no, they actually are good. So that's why I was saying that we've all got videos that we're not too happy about after. So the prismatic shields and the advanced plasma accelerators, I love both of those.
The advanced plasma is crazy
Those
on
modules.
capacitor. It's just draining it in
That's
seconds.
the only thing.
The,
Yeah.
I love it just because you can
yeah,
fire
you
off
shoot for
more
half second and then wait for 25 seconds.
I mean, I had two of them on my
I would say
Combats.
hammers are best
Python.
from weapons.
They're okay, they're good, but I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Can
with
I
them.
just point
I
out
suck
that
with them.
then Mardiu in the chat has pointed out that this is kind of turning into a bit of a what do you call it? A bash session on the problem.
Yes, it is a little bit, isn't
Doing
it?
something a bit more positive because I'm definitely in the positive camp. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I think it's probably the best game of all
Oh
time.
yes, no, I do
Yeah.
love this.
We all
game.
think it's
Like
best
that.
game, but
I
we
don't
want
think there's any
that game to be even
question.
better.
We all love this game. We all love this game. Exactly. We just want to make it better. And I think
that's why we complain
being-
sometimes. It's because we want
Yes.
it to be even
Well, that's
better.
really good to. It's good to point that out. Although
I
that's
don't
what I'm
think it's-
saying.
yeah, I don't think it's complaining. I just think it's talking about what we feel as a community and within ourselves could be better. You know, we'd be saying, look, we love this game, but just make it that little bit better.
Yeah, but there's so many things that could be better. And I know that sounds like a slash, but it's one of
There's
those
too many
games
things to
where
choose from, yeah.
there's so many things it can do. So everyone has like, why isn't this in that yet? Or why isn't this done better? Like,
I just think that engineers
one of
was
those
a
endless
bad
conversations.
choice compared to what else they could have done. That's what I think
well,
is.
I assume they did the market research of what was
Yeah, but
supposed
I
to be.
think-
Maybe they didn't.
everyone's going to say that. You know, you can always say something negative about other games, can't you? Or these games, any games.
Any
There's always
games,
going to
agree.
I
be
know
something that
that's-
someone's going to say, well, it could be done in a better way. If you know
Yeah,
what
I
I
think
mean.
they've got a bit. I think they've got a bit of,
Except
bit of a bum
Minecraft.
deal.
Apparently that got 98% in all its reviews. And I don't know why.
Nor do I. I can't
Well-
stand. I could not play that.
I
Well,
could
at
not
least
play it
clarify
either.
that
for
you
myself.
get-
You've just alienated about 75% of your audience, by the way.
I just because I can't play it doesn't mean that other people can't enjoy it and appreciate it.
I prefer Lego.
Yeah.
Well, at least to clarify for myself, I wouldn't even be here having this discussion if I didn't want to actually help Frontier. I mean, the thing is this is a great game. It's great for a lot of time, for many hours. It's well worth the money. Absolutely well worth the money. It is a fantastic game, and my criticisms of it aren't meant to hurt them, aren't meant to dissuade people either. It's meant to make the game, at least put my input out there so that they can see it and say, okay, this is something that somebody has seen. I'm trying to help, I guess is what I'm trying to say more than anything else. And taking the effort to talk about it on here is not something I would do unless I wanted to do that.
Frontier do listen. Like, usually you find that the next update includes a whole bunch of things that have been quite hot in the forums. At one point, they weren't talking about improving exploring at all. I think Michael Brooks officially said, we're happy with the way it is. And then so me and the Explorers Forum started making a lot of fuss, just like becoming a bit of a loud voice. And in the last 3 or 4 patches, there's been some very big improvements that are specifically aimed at explorers. So they do listen.
I totally agree.
They certainly do.
I'm not sure they listen to the big, long,
across...
70,000 page like Reddits about what's wrong with the game. I mean, they probably do.
No, I don't think
do they have to
go that far into it.
Yeah,
when the message is brought across in a constructive way, they do listen.
Yeah, but I do. This is one of the reasons I'm really hoping that other games such as Star Citizen and I forgot what it's called.
No Man's
Sky. That one, yes. I really do hope that they become big successes because they can help drive competition with Frontier as well. And it's not only that, but Frontier are going to be able to look at what works there and implement certain things as well. It's going to be almost a combined kind of testing process for all these things.
I am a big proponent of capitalism, so that's good.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that I really loathe and detest Star Citizen. I don't. I do want it to succeed. It's just as it stands at the moment, I can't see it happening. I really hope it does because I really want it to push competition between all of the different major players in the space sim genre because it's only just recently started coming back.
Yeah,
and I'm really happy for that because it went away for a long time, and now we're coming back and people are testing the waters. We don't know yet what is going to be working for the genre and what isn't yet because we're back at the forefront again, especially with Elite.
Well, when Elite eventually gets around, for example, to doing to doing Life, I reckon it will blow No Man's Sky out of the water.
I don't doubt it. I'm looking forward. I mean, the typical Englishman here, I'm really looking forward to flying my ship under the rain. Like the weather, obviously, for me. I really want to see... I want to see the weather under there. Just imagine flying.
I never thought of that, but
you know that rain down on the canopy.
Yeah, just watching the rain coming off your canopy as you're flying through a cityscape. Just imagine that. That's
especially if you've got the Oculus or something like that.
Yes,
That'll just look
that's
amazing.
Gonna be awesome.
This
I
is
put it
why
up
people
as
like
one of
Elite.
I put this up in one of the top 11 things I want to see in Elite. And then people slated me for saying, but most of these have been confirmed. I know, but these are things I want to see. Not that I'm not going to be in, that I want them to put in.
I'm telling
That's
you,
actually a good question, though.
Go on.
That's actually a good question. Like, what would each of us like to see personally? Like, in this game, one thing, what would you like to see?
Weather.
More mystery. I'd like to see... Yeah, go on.
No, let's let Dr. Kaii go.
No, I was just going to say, because it's fits into what I was saying before anyway, that when proper planetary landing is finished, like we've got all the planets, atmospheric landing, Earth-like worlds, life, cities, when we've reached that state, even if it takes 10 years, I can tell you now, with the Oculus Rift CV2 by then, hopefully, my real life will officially end. I will be fed through a straw, I'll have a bag, I will just explore the galaxy. So I think that's the beauty of this game. Everyone just has their dreams, and that's why I guess people get so passionate about it, because everyone sees this game as the answer to their problems in gaming, and that's why they get so frustrated that it's.
I don't know. For me, it's all very easy. I want to see challenge and reward. In any form, challenge and reward, because I like challenge and I want to be rewarded for my time. In any form they see fit.
Perfectly reasonable to me.
Branching off another thing that I wanted about weather. I really want to go and see what it's like on gas giants, just flying through the cloud layers.
Oh yeah,
Play Space Engine. Play Space Engine.
What
about you, Obsidian?
Okay, Obsidian, go.
Yeah, I'm hoping that eventually with the background simulation, that it becomes a lot more automated. I'd like to see the game become more dynamic. So, for example,
P2P,
stay
it's
within
gonna be
inhabited
hard.
space or on the outskirts of inhabited space. You'll get a player who go out and find a rich asteroid belt, and he'll mine there, and maybe he'll tell his mates or his whoever's in there, he knows, and he'll get a bunch of people mining there. And then I'd like to see NPCs moving out there, and then maybe the NPCs or the background simulator can say, there seems to be a lot of activity going on there. Let's put a post out there.
Sorry,
And then you get an
Tom Cook says yes, less tea outside of
builds on that.
Find out about it, and then pirates can come and try and bring down the prices, because or like another player group who's got a local thing going on there can try and drive the other people out, like things like that. But they require less P2P and more server-based action, so I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
I think ultimately that's the plan, but how long it takes, I don't know. I know I've seen Frontier a few times say they want to essentially automate the placement of stations and things like that, because at the moment they have to put them in manually after a community goal, but I'd like to see that become more automated.
More automated thing, yeah.
More dynamic, yeah.
Troa did ask the question about what we'd ultimately like to see the most. So I think we deserve to hear his answer.
All right. Well, personally, I'd like to see some more attention put on the more macabre options, such as piracy and smuggling and things like that, and just have things be a bit more dynamic. Again, talking with what Cornelius was saying about risk, reward, and challenge. These things at the later time of the game, once you get past a certain point, there is nothing. It's very predictable, and it's gets kind of easy after a while, and there's nothing new. There's no wild card that gets thrown at you other than another player that interdicts you. So I'd like to see where the real danger is in the outlaw kind of professions really feel like they're an outlaw profession and not just trading or not just combat, really, because that's just kind of how things are. There's no real incentive to fight other players because you're going to do more damage than you're going to gain. I'd like to see a lot more attention put into PvP interaction and the more macabre areas of the game.
Yeah, it does feel like smuggling is more like just ever so slightly glorified trading at present.
Mm-hmm.
Just fast. It's fast trading.
Unless you are one of these players that uses his imagination, like a lot of
I don't
people
have one
aren't.
of those.
Yeah, a lot of people also feel ashamed, like they feel like they're a kid if they use their imagination too much. But
no,
when I
imagination
go out
is
like
great.
bounty hunting against NPCs, I just picture myself like as this badass bounty hunter who's like really mysterious. And I fly to the system, and I'm like, right, Dr. Kaii is in the system now. You NPCs better watch out. And I feel really cool. But again, that also kind of wears off after a while. It'd be really good. You're right. If there's a lot more challenge, a lot more like life injected into the galaxy. But I don't think it's going to take very long. Maybe a year or two.
I think it's great having imagination in the game as well. I mean, especially in my community. My community is bloody awesome for this kind of stuff. I've even had fan fiction started being written about me. Not that kind of fan fiction, I'll point
out. We've seen the pictures.
Google Superstars said, "What about storylines?" And that's where I would love to see some.
Oh,
more
I'd love to have
into
some
the game.
story elements in the game.
Everybody would love.
What I'd love.
I've said before, I don't want to see. Sorry, carry on, Vindicator.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, what I'd really love to see, and this is right at the top of my list, is where people can go out into the galaxy, interact with maybe some kind of alien intruder, where everybody has to band together to fight that alien invasion. To fight, not necessarily have to fight, but maybe even bring supplies out to build stations, where we all have a goal together to fight against something else. I think that's what's missing in the game. Currently, we either fight amongst each other or we just stick in solo. And I just feel like we need some kind of story to drive us to do more things.
You know,
to
be really risky as well when you do it.
To me, it looks like Frontier did not decide. To me, looks like Frontier didn't decide yet what they want to do, because they can't give same content to single player and multiplayer. They need to start giving more content only for single player and only for multiplayer. That's my opinion. More story, more scripted.
Star Trek Online does this really well. They have like episodes where you can play it either as solo or as a group, and I really think something like that would work well in Elite Dangerous.
And it's not so hard. Everybody would enjoy them.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
That's why it looks like they can't decide should or not, and they give same content. It just doesn't work.
It's a sci-fi, and there's a billion planets. There's so much story potential. That's what's amazing about it. Like, well, there's infinite story
By
potential.
the way, before we carry on, Vindicator, can we kick the Jesus nut out of the
Yeah,
chat? Please?
I've
He's
already.
just spamming.
I've just blocked him.
Oh, good. Sorry, because he was annoying a lot of people as well as me.
I just saw it then.
All right, awesome. Sorry for the inconvenience there, folks. Let's carry on.
I have a question for you all. What kind of mission do you want to see? Have you ever thought about that? Is there any mission you want?
I'd like to see a
um,
mission where in multiple stages where you
Yeah.
got to do one thing and that leads to another, and then that leads to another. So it's like a mini story, even.
Mr. Prizes, yeah?
Yeah. I always wanted to see kind of a story progression throughout the game. I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm the chosen one coming to save the universe. I'd like to have like a little bit, like little story areas, like a little kind of thing that at least shows me that I matter a little bit in this universe.
Yeah, I don't want to be the hero within Elite Dangerous, but I want to feel like I'm actually doing something in the game that's going to, add a little bit more to the game.
Doesn't have
I
to
don't
be
know how
like that. I mean,
realistic
just-
it'd be, Cornelius, but what version I'd like to see would be on the mission board, get missions that involve other players more. So sometimes you get assassination missions. Why not a mission to assassinate a known player pirate?
yeah,
Who's
that
got
should have
the
been done
bounty on
ages
his
ago.
head? Or for example, you might get
Pirate
a
base.
mission, or you might
But
get a
he can
mission
play
to
it solo,
assassinate
that's
an
the problem.
NPC right now. You get a mission to assassinate an NPC, and as you're en route to him, you sometimes get these messages, don't you? Either don't kill him or go and kill him. You get a choice, don't you? But instead of
Hey, it's
that, what
great,
I'd
I
like to
found
say,
you.
what I'd like to see is another player get a mission saying, "Oh, we've just got word that player XYZ is en route to assassinate so and so. Why don't you go and protect this target?"
But they need
Yeah,
to
the
get
only
rid. You
problem
have
with
to
that
have
is
like an
that
They
option.
have to chase you down.
Yeah, the only
You
issue
have
with
to
those
have
kind
an
of things
option.
is we've got the solo play, and a lot of people will be
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
it, and then you can't do jack there. So it would be nice to be able to have solo play being removed from the game, but then that would alienate so many people. that
No,
only
I would
want
say
to
that
play
solo
by
play should
themselves.
stay, private groups should stay, but they should be on separate background simulations. So
That would be.
Yeah, you could
that
you
would
could
be
like you could switch your account to only open. And
no,
then
you should keep both. But if you play solo, it's one background simulation. If you switch to open, it's another. You can't. And if you, in example, if you involve players
But
in
then how
missions,
can
you should
you-
log them. You should log them into
How
one.
can we get a thing where someone says assassinate Dr. Kaii if Dr. Kaii has the option to?
Yeah,
switch
exactly.
on
That's the
playing solo
problem. You
mode?
should log him for the time being into one game mode. But that's not happening, so we can't. It's impossible.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Lurkers.
that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Because you know what will happen? They'll just log off.
Yes, also exactly. They will log off. They will
Well, I
block.
personally would love having someone to chase me.
You know, it's peer to peer.
Yeah, actually,
I
think
can
it's
block
great.
your IP and you will never see me. That's actually yeah, that's one of the reasons
What
why.
I reckon it should be is if you're playing solo, your rewards are less than if you're playing open. So
Yeah, I proposed that and
That
got
would be
a
great
lot of
way
negative
to
comments.
Balance things.
So then
That would be a
you're
great way
not
of balancing
forced to. Yeah, that's what I think. If you're playing open, your rewards are far greater.
But it's actually much harder in open. Sometimes it takes like 2-3 times more, because if you are to go into community goals, you'll be interdicted by players and you will wasting a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. Well, my kind of thoughts on this one are maybe the progression doesn't get counted. Like if you're actually going for this community goal and you're attempting to raise it to the next tier, anything you do would not get counted in solo, but your reward stays the same. That would be a way to make it to, if you actually wanted to participate
that.
in the goal
Yeah.
and actually wanted to improve the station services, for example, you would have to do it in open in order to actually move the bar up. But your reward as a player playing a game would be the same. Just your personal reward in actually working with that goal would be different.
Yeah, I like that actually.
To go back to the question of missions, have you finished there? Sorry, Troy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just go back to that the question on missions, Cornelius. What sort of missions would you like to see?
Like I said, I like rivalries. So my ideal mission, it doesn't matter what kind of mission, exploration, trading, bounty, whatever mission, but in example, it's announced every hour or so on, how it's called, where you see all news, Galaxy News. It's announced there.
Galnet.
Be specific.
Yeah.
Galnet, on Galnet. It's on Galnet, announced every hour at specific starport, and it starts exactly at the same time, and everybody who wants to participate can take it. And you are competing with all other, because like first place gets 5 times better reward, second place 3 times better, like something like this. When you can go there and compete with other players, any type of mission works. It's just as a feeling that you are not doing that for nothing. You are going there and you are competing with others, and you actually after that you will see which is number 1, number 2. Now it's cool. I like to compete.
Yeah, I'd love to see CQC brought into the main universe. I've said this previously.
Oh
but
yeah.
I'd love to have it where the CQC arenas are in within the same like couple of hundred light years of bubble of each other, and you have to travel from one to the next to be a professional CQC guy. Maybe you could have this perhaps being that the CQC ship, have it explained away that the CQC ships, when they're blown up, they're actually drones, and you just pilot them from like a control center or something. Well, that would be epic, being able to fly around in your ship, toting your ships, your CQC ships with you, and you're a professional CQC player. It'd be another dynamic into the game, and it'd be another thing where you could play against other players as well, and that'd be another bit of challenge to it.
But what would be different from current?
Idea.
What would be different from current and CQC?
I think that's a good idea.
I'd love to have it where you could go and sit and spectate it as well, like walking around, like when you get the ability to walk outside your ship, actually walk around the stands and so on, and sit and watch people. And just imagine a ship flies off by accident because you've blown out the thrusters or something, and it goes and smashes into the stand and stuff, and it has to be like shot down by turrets and stuff so it doesn't hurt the spectators or something. That'd be epic.
That would be epic.
That would be epic, yeah. I don't know if anyone's ever played Faster Than Light here, FTL. It's kind of like...
say as I have.
No, what happens is there's random encounters in that game, but all of them are kind of a very sci-fi story. Maybe it's a bit too sci-fi for Elite, but I love the idea of it being a bit more story-based. Like we can have missions that are more like Star Trek Online episodes. I think a lot of people here are Star Trek fans or sci-fi fans, and they're playing this game because it's based in the future and space travel. So I guess that kind of system would need more alien races. It would need more stuff developed already. But I would like eventually to see not just very generic missions, just like, oh, this general has contacted you because you're the only one who can kill this guy. Like, just let it be a story. Let there be multiple stages. Let it be interesting. That, you know, someone's dying. There's a fire. There's a new alien race, and they don't know what to do because they.
Yeah, I think we're going to be getting that a bit in 2.1 because they're overhauling the way the mission system works by having NPCs, like NPC mission givers, and I think they're changing it a little bit. But It would be nice to feel like the missions are not just an all points bulletin going, "Oi, everybody here, come and kill this person. Whoever does it first is the winner. Yeah, you get the no prize," kind of thing. 'Cause that's what it feels like at the moment.
Your ideas, all 6. How many of us are there? All 5 of you have been really amazing. You've actually like got me quite excited about where Elite's going to go. I didn't even think of some of these directions. Yeah,
because I was talking about with CQC, because a couple of people are talking about it now in chat. I'd love to have it where I'm flying into the system, coming up to the arena, and I'm actually watching like a match happening whilst I'm flying in to the arena area. That would be amazing to see. And instead of actually just pressing a Q button and jumping in, I actually have to get out my ship, go down to like the my cockpit bay, and go and load up the drones to do a couple of test laps and stuff, and then fly up to the starting team section. Have it be a bit more realistic. That'd be amazing for me. This is just another one of the things I had in my top 11 video.
I'm just thinking that, and I think everyone could come and park the ship around the course and watch everybody else.
Yeah, you don't even have to watch from the ships, because you could get out and you could sit at the stands. You could go and bet on the race, on the fights, bet on the outcomes. That'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, betting needs to be part of this game.
This is just another perfect example of how.
Can I
no
take
matter
my
what
hand
area
cannon
of
and
the
shoot?
game you think about. What?
Yeah.
Can I take my hand cannon and shoot?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
This is a perfect example of like any aspects of the game you want to talk about. You can think of like a million amazing ideas, like, and every single idea is like the best idea you've ever had. And that's what the beauty of Elite is. Like, if I could summarize Elite, it's just an idea factory, and we're getting kind of annoyed that Frontier, I guess, are not coming out with the ideas fast enough. But I'm not annoyed. I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
And I guess
No,
come back in 10
somebody
years.
else. Yeah, somebody else was saying
We'll
in
come
chat
back,
that they'd
stay.
like to see racing tracks and so on. Imagine having like around asteroid racing, like have courses set up.
I
so
would
it's
like
not
to
just
participate,
CQC.
actually.
Yeah, that's what I would love to see.
Yeah.
More
And
racing.
having both
setups.
planetary.
That's
and-
rivalry. That's competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly what we like.
I'd love to have
how
all of
that'll
it.
work.
I don't know. I just like have all of it kind of built into the game as if
The fun
it
part.
was
Did
the
you
same
play Star
CQC
Citizen
thing.
race?
You could go and sit and watch from the stands. You could go and bet on the races and so on, same as you would be able to in CQC theoretically. That would be amazing. And being able to see your own avatars, that'd be like just another lively part of the game. You don't have to have NPCs. I just imagine if they had championships built into the game as well. It's like, oh, it's CQC season this time of the year, so people come in like real time. This is the championship. We have the prizes. We have the cups, the prizes and stuff. I can't think of the words for them right now off the top of my head.
Speaking of
Well,
CQC,
you
can
get
I
your name-
enter? I want to say
course,
something about
carry on.
CQC. I would like to see a little bit more variety in different game modes. In examples, there can be a mode where a team of 5 attack a big ship or something like that. More variety, because small ships
I reckon
only.
You should be able to bring. Yeah, you should be able to bring your own ship as well. That's what
Yeah.
I would really love to see.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, more
I would
modes of
agree.
CQC would be fun.
Chaos with you about CQC would be good if you would be able to bring your own ship with your own loadout. Then I agree, it should be very
Yeah.
good in live universe. But if you bring that CQC mode just to live build, I don't see much sense in it.
Well,
yeah, no,
Imagine
being
if
able to
Wings
have
of
slightly larger
War,
ships
best wings in world.
depends on the. I imagine it being dependent on what type of CQC match you play. I imagine having the standard stuff that they've got now, but then also
Yes.
having, once you graduate up from that, having like the grand finals almost, and anacondas and corvettes and stuff fighting each other.
It's like PvP League, only officially organized.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that'd be amazing.
It's like, like
The-
cars. There are cars from 2 different models, and could be ultimate, no rule, final.
yeah, no,
like
that would be
mixed
amazing, like having a
ships,
cage
yeah.
match almost.
yeah.
or if you
having
could like
big
tune
matches and
into
big
it while
ships.
you're at home.
Yeah, that'd be amazing just to be able to have a look at it, even if you can't participate. Just being able
And
to
you can see
watch
best
it.
PvP players and best loadouts and compares them.
I love the way this game always produces a conversation like this of just like, just imagine if. It's just like there's so many good potential ideas. I'm telling you, this is everyone's dream game. The game they were
It's
dreaming
got
of as
so many
since children.
possibilities, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Well,
is a
to
game of
play-
infinite possibility.
By far the most possibilities any game has ever had.
I think that's its greatest strength and its greatest weakness at the same time,
Yeah.
because it is
Yep.
you can do so much with it, and people are thinking, well, you could do this and this. Why aren't they doing this now? But Frontier can only go so many directions at once.
Elite Dangerous is probably the best sandpit game. It just needs more sand and more tools to play within the sand.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And they need
know
to
what,
start
there's two
different
yeah.
types.
If they
Think,
just
Cornelius?
public made mod support, and everyone could
Yeah.
just add their own little
Yes.
bits to the game. I don't know how that would work, but if
It
the
would be a
community
clusterfuck.
Yeah.
the amount of resources, it would what?
The mod stuff would be a complete clusterfuck, I think, to begin. There's so many
Yeah, it
people
would be.
breaking the game. Because if you have a look at the mod support for XCOM 2, they
But you know, you
break it
have this
so much.
universe, only one universe. You can't mod it. If you would have
just wanna
offline,
Someone should
camera.
make a rival game.
yeah.
Hard to mod a persistent universe.
I just think they should offer tools that people can use, like set start points, end points, and waypoints, and to create races, things like that. That's not too difficult. I've seen lots
Yes,
of games
exactly.
do that.
They can announce
But that's
Galnet
not
news
enough.
every.
Better.
Yeah.
They should make
Imagine
it that
just
you
having-
can submit a change to the game and then it can be passed to a team and like the good ones get approved. It's
It
not-
would take too
they
much
get
time for
approved.
them to go through this list.
Too much time. Yeah, they
should-
couldn't do
They should
that.
hire a team. They should hire a team.
No, that's what I told
Charge
you.
for the
They
public.
should form a group of experienced players and make something like this design discussion.
No, it has to be devs. If it's going to be changes to the game, it has to be devs. I mean,
Of course, devs will be just
communicating.
communicating with players. No, devs will be just communicating. And
It doesn't have to be permanent changes. It could just be a start line, waypoints, and end line. You know,
Yeah, imagine if you
there's
could
things-
get commodities that you could just drop that show off. Right, this first one, we'll set this one as the start point. So that starts up the start line. Another one you drop off, that'll be waypoint 1, waypoint 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to the finish line. And you could just drop them down in canyons or something. So you could have canyon racing, or you could have it in space where you can
SRV,
target them.
canyon,
So
space, of course.
Well, they're
Yeah,
already adding
yeah.
bookmarks, aren't they, into the
Yeah.
galaxy map? And it wouldn't take much more, I wouldn't have thought, just to share those bookmarks. And then you've got to race from
No.
system to system and do a similar
if
sort
it's
of thing
like-
for markers down on planets.
yeah.
Well, I
But
don't know
you
if
need
it's
a-
really well for. You guys
It's
really
just a
need to check
physical-
out some of the Distant Worlds videos. Distant Worlds video shows there's a lot of this stuff already in the game. If someone is willing to organize it and list it up somewhere and gather the people quickly enough, then you can. We've had a Destruction Derby that was epic. Finding the arena for that was so much fun. It's already
Yeah,
there's a lot of it
something
already
similar
there.
seen with the Wulff
It's
map.
not gamers. Gamers should not organize anything
I
inside the
disagree.
game. They should have
I
tools
completely
to
disagree
organize.
with you there, Cornelius. I think a gamer should have the ability to do whatever they want in games.
They should
Yes, but
have
with game tools.
the freedom to do it, but we also need game tools.
Yes.
Like especially for those SRV races, you start off from one of the pads, and then you got to race to another pad. But some of those people start at different places on those pads in settlements, and so you get varying times. So you know, if
not
we
fair.
had a tool where we could set a
We had
specific-
just a canyon race. The map was posted up. 2 anacondas were the finish line. 2 posts. It worked extremely well. We had like 5 ships in the air filming it and
Yeah, but
refereeing it.
But the thing
was
is,
really
right,
easy.
everybody has to be there at the same time. The best thing about these SRV races is that you could do it in your own time at any time, and I think that's
Yeah.
what people
No,
want
I
is the
agree with you.
flexibility and the choice.
I do
I'm
think
being
the
a
idea
bit
of having
facetious here. I
a-
do agree with you. It would definitely benefit from having it built in, having some more stuff like that built in,
I'd like to
especially
just
for
have
some
the
people
idea.
who aren't in big groups.
Hey,
Just to
guys,
break
we
in the
can-
monotony.
Yeah,
Think
You
about
know?
GTA 5. GTA 5 is a game of sub games, of mini games. I mean, like we could do that here.
Yeah, but I was thinking it
Cool.
would be great to have something like a semi-persistent buoy, almost as like a cargo, like a commodity container almost. You just drop it, but it shows up on your
Sensors.
mini map from
Minimap.
yeah, your sensors. That's the word. Thank you. From a good distance, and you can kind of mark each one as waypoint 1, 2, 3. Perhaps set them in a sequence, so when you get within a
Yeah.
certain distance of one, it'll even maybe even it'll give you a ring to fly through when you're in when you're out in space. So you can go and fly through that and move around, and you can just set them up yourself, and then choose whether to blow them up or not.
Can you imagine a game that has different legs? Some in space, some on the ground. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I know racing games that haven't implemented this, by the way.
On
So if you
10G
think
World.
Frontier are going to be doing it anytime soon.
Oh, I don't doubt that they won't be doing it. I'm just trying to think of creative ways of doing it.
yeah.
It's been about 2 hours. I don't know if you guys want to wrap up
Yep.
now or keep going.
I
I
was
mean,
just about
the
to
viewers
say
are
that.
going down a bit. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying that we are starting to peter out a little.
Yeah, I reckon we probably should end it here.
We're not.
And,
We've got infinite things to
maybe-
talk about.
oh, absolutely, and we'll do one of these another time soon.
We have
Yeah, I do think we should
400
start
billion
making
things
these-
to talk.
Yeah, I do think we've got more than enough things to talk about. We definitely need to make this a recurring.
After
thing.
engineers, we should meet again. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
definitely.
plenty to talk about.
that sounds good.
Or during the beta. Or after the beta. Or...
Well,
Both.
during the
Why not
beta,
both?
just after the beta, we can have
Yeah,
a catch up
after
then,
the
and then another meet up another time.
I think
Probably make this a
during
regular thing.
I think during the beta we're going to all be very busy doing the testing and recording for
Videos.
that,
We will
so
be making
definitely
videos like crazy.
It depends how long the beta is,
Yes.
doesn't it? It could be a month long.
Could be. This is the largest patch that they're having, the largest update that they're having. So I can imagine it could be anything up to 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, but if history is anything to go by, it'll be at most 2 weeks.
Okay, well,
Well, we're getting a lot of people are saying, "Why is it ending now?" And we'll listen to you all day long. So, yeah, don't worry.
Well, that's nice.
It's all going to our heads, guys. Don't worry.
My head's already big enough.
Well, I want to thank you
Mine's
all
not.
for coming along, and it's been pretty awesome chatting with you guys. So, but thank you,
It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you.
and thank
Yeah, and
you
thanks
to
for
been a
everyone
pleasure.
coming along and watching and listening.
thanks everybody who's came and listened to us ramble on like old idiots.
Oh, definitely.
And whoever
I
said
wanna
Kaii
thank
for Emperor, thank you.
I want to say a big thank you to all
James,
the
you said it.
And as always, keep flying and stay shiny.
You just had to have the last word, didn't you?
I didn't have to have the last word. I was expecting other people to carry on with it. We've all got our own
I will
unique
stay
catchphrase.
shiny.
I'll see you out there in the big black. So everybody say their catchphrase. Come on.
So
catch you
long,
guys and girls
Space
next
Cowboys.
Fly safe, commanders.
Thanks for
I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Catch you
I
later.
suddenly feel really cheesy. Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay, we're off the air.